right, give me a thumbs up if you could hear. You know me, I wait until people come up and talk because I'm not talking to myself on here. No way.
What's up, Petey?
Is it Panic City for the MYK?
Nah, but it's not. It's not great, but no.
Yeah.
I don't know why they look so inept when they play these teams. We'll have to ask Mark about it.
Nah, Mark will never join in. I don't listen. It may sound positive, but I don't think. Let's. How do I say this? Oh, it doesn't matter till the playoffs. So I don't think the Knicks could beat the Celtics. So they beat Cleveland last year. Now I know Cleveland's different this year and a lot better. So, but I don't think the Knicks could beat the Celtics. They're going to need somebody else to beat them. Luckily, and I don't. Boston's incredible. They don't miss, man.
Yeah, Bridges got to be a lot better, man.
Yeah, he was doing all right for a little bit. Not yesterday, but he's been all right.
He's
But
got to be better.
yeah, they gave up way too much for him. I wonder now if they try and get uh number 34. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Giannis.
Oh, I mean, you got to put Cat in that deal, right?
Probably, yeah. You probably got to put Cat and a few others in,
Yeah, for sure.
but that's pretty much it. It's combine week. Who knows what's going to happen? But 2 weeks from today is NFL free agency tampering begins. I wonder if the Jets will be active. I doubt they're active week day one.
Nah, they don't got the money for that. There's a lot of holes, man.
Would you sign a guy like Christian Kirk?
Not, not early. If he lingers, for sure.
Well,
But
what do you think a guy like him is going to get a year? 20? He ain't going to get 20 again, is he?
I don't know. So I'd have to look at his stats. Ridley got paid a lot this past offseason. What was Ridley's versus Kirk's? Was Ridley's way better?
I think Ridley got 90 million.
Yeah, but were Ridley's numbers way better? And I got to know the age. How old is Christian Kirk? How old was Calvin Ridley? What were the
Yeah.
stats?
I got to look. I think Ridley's 28. Neil,
I
you
thought
know that answer?
I thought Ridley got overpaid, man.
So did Kirk.
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean on Ridley's deal last year.
Oh yeah, of course.
T. Higgins is going to set the market, right?
I think he
Yep.
gets tagged, Buckeye. I think he's going to get tagged.
That's going to be a whole like since Cincinnati's going to run out of leash in terms of like that's going to be a
100%.
nuisance. Yeah,
It's going to cost him Trey Hendrickson eventually, which Hendrickson is maybe the most underrated player in football.
I don't disagree.
And usually you get excited about this time of year for free agency. I don't know why, man. Maybe someone peed in my Wheaties, but I just like this free agent class just doesn't do it for me. Like
Me
usually
either.
there's like 4 or 5 guys that you can't wait till the official window opens because they're going to sign. Like case in point for me is a guy like Javon Holland, who's been a good safety for the Dolphins coming off of a down year. If a team's going to pay that guy $20 million a year, to me, it's a $13-14 million a year player. It's like, when you're paying 40% premiums on players, that's how you get in trouble very fast, So, especially if T. Higgins gets franchised. I mean, Trey Smith is a guy that I would like to have on my roster, but if he gets $27 million a year at a guard, it's a tough pill to swallow, So Khalil Mack's an agent player. He's on a lot of people's top 5 boards. It's very lackluster in my opinion.
I agree.
Wait, Trey Smith may get 27 million, like Robert Hunt money. What did Hunt
Yeah,
get? 20?
20. But here's why. So look, the Commanders and the New England are both such needy offensive line teams. And look at the Patriots could get him at right guard and plug him next to Michael Onwenu on the right side. That's a massive wall that they built over there. But yeah, I think because of the lack of top end players on the market, there could be some bidding wars for some of these players. It's interesting. I think the value of free agency, and I've learned the hard way as a Dolphins fan who's, gotten Ndamukong Suh and Mike Wallace and those type of players, Brandon Albert in free agency is it's more about hitting the doubles than it is hitting the home runs.
I
You
agree.
know, like we got a guy like Jonu Smith last year, and we added him and Aaron Brewer, and those guys were, $8 million a year type of players, and they were two of the most impactful players we've added. So it's like, I think you want to hit a couple good doubles, maybe fill a couple needs before the draft, but like to cash in big in free agency, especially with this group, I don't see who the bottom line, I don't see who the difference makers are. Like if the Raiders' strategy at quarterback is to pay Sam Darnold $30 million off of one season, in 2 years they could be holding the number 1 overall pick. That's how I see it, man. It's interesting to see. Man, and
Neil, you know
maybe
who I think may last on free agency, and the room's like Jets fans going to be angry at this one. I think if Hassan Reddick lasts and lasts and lasts, he's going to be a bargain for somebody, man.
yeah, I think a team like the Commanders could make a lot of sense for him. The Lions could make a lot of sense for him. But I'll tell you what, you guys are going to be staring down the barrel of a 3rd-round comp pick because I think somebody's definitely going to overpay DJ Reed big time money. I think he gets north of 20 million.
So do I.
I think he gets at least 23, 24 a year.
Reed?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Bro, if starting corner or
I
like
know. I know. I'm not
you know
arguing
that.
that. Yep.
Wait till your young whippersnapper wants his check.
Yeah,
It's
3 years from now.
gonna
What
be
do the
crazy.
Jaguars have in cap? Lot?
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me look. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, everybody.
Morning,
Pete,
Mark.
to your comment from earlier, by the way, listen, it's NFL offseason, so if you want to talk about ping pong and pickleball, like go ahead, like knock yourself out
Pickleball. You
instead of
play
knocking
that?
the thumbs down.
Are you,
No,
oh, okay. So,
cricket.
why the Jack,
Any
right
sports
now,
you want to talk about? Uh,
Buckeye, right
So
now it says the Jaguars have 38 million, but it
Oh, so
says,
it's low.
I don't think over the cap updated the cap to 280 because it says total cap liabilities.
So
They have the
some
top
of our
50.
guys
Go ahead.
are going to. Some of our guys, I think, are going to be. If the right team gets the Devontae Adams, Hassan Reddick, I think those guys. And again, it depends on how fast. I don't think they're going to get signed that fast. But Devontae's a productive guy. Age is wrong. I don't think you got to pay him the moon and the sun, honestly, anymore. I really don't.
Yeah, but why would you even want Reddick back here after what he
No. I'm
pulled?
not talking about for
No,
the.
no,
I don't want the Jets to be
right.
players at all.
Well, they're going to sign players.
Maybe a safety.
This is
Yeah.
the 3 to 4 win team. This is it right here, guys. You're hearing it. Roster construction from the 3 to 4 win team. They don't. Why sign anybody if you're banking on 3 to 4 wins?
Mark,
Just
because
gut the
they
roster, clear
Mark,
the cap, and do that, and tank for 26.
no, they
Right?
need
That's the plan.
players, Mark. No, why would they? They're not going to tank. They would have came out and said it.
PD,
Dude,
it's not
they
about
never say
it's
it.
not about an attempt to tank. This team is going to be a top 5 picking team because that's where we're at.
I
We
did.
were we were an
I,
all-in win team picking 7,
yeah, you're
and
right.
Mark's gonna say it was the kicker.
Buckeye,
Well,
I heard you complaining about the kicker, and so
I,
was you. Like the
I
double talk is wild. Listen, people don't need to be accountable for what they say. I get it; it's fine. I'm telling you what I heard and what like yesterday and what I'm hearing today. And look, if you're behind the tank and you want the 3 to 4 wins, and you're tanking for 26 for Arch, and hoping that the Manning family says, you know what, it's okay, go to the Jets. Right? If that's your plan, then just stand by it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not in favor of that. I think they should build out the rest of the roster first. I think they should build out your offensive line, get your depth sorted, build
through
out
the
your trench
draft.
play on the other side of the ball, get that sorted. And then when a quarterback shows up, um, they're inheriting a nicer team. And so we don't end up having to watch fucking Geno Smith and Sam Darnold and whoever else that was a former Jet quarterback be a franchise quarterback for some other football team. I don't
Build the
understand how
rest of
that's
the
an
team out
outlandish point
how?
of view.
Build the rest of the team out how? Through the draft, right?
Well, through the draft, you also you get free. To Neil's point, you get some of the doubles and like get some free agents that kind of fill you out. Like for example, and through trades, try and lift folks off of folks that Muji has drafted before that he's familiar with. Guys that Glenn is familiar with that understand the scheme and the culture. Like bring those guys in and build out your team, but do not squander your first year and have Glenn forced to come to the podium and explain why 8 weeks in, the Jets are looking worse than they were the year before.
Yeah, but
Why
Mark,
would you want to do that to the
who's
guy?
saying the Jets are not? You have to fill a roster because you have to fill a roster. So the draft's going to happen anyway. I'm saying the Jets should not be players, nor can they be anyway, because we don't have the cap space for tier 1 free agents. You're not going to build
Who needs
a
tier one
7
free
pick.
agents?
Huh?
Who needs tier one free agents?
It, it,
Get
it, the
role
Jets,
players.
the Jets need everything, bro.
All right. Not if they're going to win 3 to 4 games, they don't.
But Mark, no one's saying to sit there and do nothing. You still have to fill a roster out. You still have to draft.
Thank you.
Well, sure, go ahead and draft. You got UDFAs. Like, just if you're gonna win 3 to 4 games, then who cares who you get? Get your development, get a couple pieces here and there. Like, let your coaching staff figure out what's up. This is the plan you guys are selling us. I don't like that plan. If it's the dealership, I'm walking in and walking out the door with that plan. But this is what you guys are selling us.
You want the 5-win Aaron Rodgers.
Mark, it's not Buckeye, the plan is not to completely tear the team down and just say, well, if we win 3 or 4 games, they're not doing that. I'm sorry. That's not what
But Petey, I never
unless
said
I'm,
3 to 4 wins. That's Mark. Mark saying the minute we gave up Aaron Rodgers, who won 5 games and has us picking 7, we're tanking and we're going to win 3 to 4 because we're using names like Justin Fields. I don't feel that way. I think Justin Fields can win more football games
Mhm.
than Aaron Rodgers right now.
Agreed.
But he's
well,
Oh boy,
but he's going to
Mark,
here we
tell you
go.
when is winning and losing a quarterback stat. I know
You
this
know,
report already.
well, here's the problem because with the
you could
folks that
deal with
say that
this.
I'm listen because I'm done. Listen, I'm done with this. The idea that Aaron Rodgers gets you 5 wins. Like, do you guys watch any other phases of football? There's like 2/3 of the rest of the game you got to watch in order to see an entire football, like the whole football game. And I'm not saying that Rodgers was exceptional in his performance and looked like MVP guy. Like, I'm definitely not saying that. Instead, what they should have done was run the football and had him be a play action quarterback and then play stout defense and then have great special teams.
Mark, they couldn't
Can
run
you
the
tell
ball
me
though,
any
Mark.
other part of the Jet football team that failed last year aside from Aaron Rodgers? Can you do that for me, please?
Yeah, a lot, Mark. But Aaron Rodgers didn't elevate the team, Mark. Let's be
Oh,
real.
Explanation point,
jeez.
Petey. And then
And
he's
I'm a
going.
Rodgers fan. I'm not, like I wanted the guy back. Like I'm not crying over it. I've moved on. It sucks.
Petey,
Whatever.
Mark's hanging his hat on Rob Saleh. And the problem is, Rob Saleh picked that O-line coach. Rob Saleh picked that kicker.
Here we go.
Rob
Again.
Saleh picked all the coaches on this team. And you're saying that the
Wait,
season
but
went to
Buckeye
peril.
to be fair though, bro, everybody fucking Zerline was money the last 2 years. You had to bring
Right,
him
but
back.
Petey, when games were getting squandered, right?
Yeah,
He still hung on, and then we made up an injury, right?
yeah.
Right? So it didn't have to go that way. You were in an all-in year with a terrible head coach named Rob Saleh, and we had to protect the kicker.
Man,
We had
Buckeyes
we had
took
to
it, man. I'm sorry.
we had to take a buddy of his and name him an offensive line coach. That's Saleh, man. That was Saleh.
Morning, everybody.
What
Can
a
I get
pass.
one thing?
Yes, thank you.
I'm listening, and I don't think we need to tank to go 3-4. I think the talent on our team is a 3-4 team again next year. There's no quarterback. We're losing, the wide receiver, Devontae.
Mhm.
We're going to be, and our defense stinks. And that's going to, now you got to rebuild it. So I don't see how we're going to be, and I know Petey wants to win. I would love to win too, but it ain't gonna happen with this team. Look at the talent. We're missing a lot of players in a lot of key spots.
So Hector, none of these young guys that had a down year, like Garrett Wilson. I'm not saying he had a down year, but you don't think Garrett
He
Wilson's going to
did.
get better?
But Petey,
Yes,
who
Petey.
who
But
is the
who's
young
the
guy that had the
second?
down year?
Huh?
Who's the
It's not
second? Petey.
who's the
Who's
young
the
guy?
second and third wide receivers?
I
Who's
don't
the
know
tight
yet.
end?
But
That's what I'm
Malachi
saying.
we're
Corley.
going to get. No, it's not. Mark, Malachi Corley will not be the number 2
That's
guy.
the guy.
And Mark, no, if
He's the number 10.
Mark, hold on. Now, I'm not being funny here. I am not in the mood for those snark remarks because he's not the number 2 guy. Come on, do better than that.
But Petey,
Who is
he
Gibson?
should be a 40+ target guy.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah,
that?
I was going to say it's too early to bang out the drum that Corley's a bust.
Thank you.
He we have a running back, Jalen Wright, who I had big expectations for as a rookie, and he was okay for us this year. I think he underwhelmed me a little bit. He had a couple nice plays. Malachi Corley, it's too early just to deem him off of one rookie season in a situation where obviously your quarterback had relationships with Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard, and you had Garrett Wilson on the outside. It's just, I think it's too early to deem it. Like, let Malachi Corley with a new offensive coordinator who might be able to manifest getting him the ball a little bit. Like, I wouldn't give up on Corley. Now, I wouldn't go in the season thinking he's a number 2, but I think when we expect is we see some of these top end rookies like the Brock Bowers of the world, Malik Neighbors performing at a high level, and we forget that there's this huge talent gap that does happen between even draft prospects. So you can't I don't think it's fair to bang the gavel and just say that he's not a good football player yet. He's obviously got to really approach this season with something to prove, and there's a lot to be determined. 2 guys I think the Jets are going to look to add in free agency, and I texted one of these names to Petey that I had heard kind of behind the scenes, is that one guy I know that Aaron Glenn loves a lot is a linebacker, Derek Barnes. I believe he played his college ball at Purdue. He's more of a physical 2-down run stopping type, but I think he's a guy that is going to be high on their radar. And then I think that with losing DJ Reed, one name to pay attention to a lot is Carlton Davis. I think that if Aaron Glenn could get him in there to replace the departing DJ Reed, that would be actually a pretty good move. I think DJ Reed's slightly better, not much better, and for the contract, you're probably looking at 70% of what Reed gets.
I think Carlton Davis they need guys that understand how they want to run how Glenn wants it done. So I see that as more increasingly likely. But can we return to the Yak King for a second? Because I want to talk about this guy.
Mark, you don't have to ask. Go ahead.
Can you break down all 6 of his targets? It won't take long.
Well, okay. So the fact that the guy couldn't get on the field, I understand what Neil was saying there. Yeah, you know what? The only thing, like, guys, you gotta stop caping for these players. I know they drafted him in the 3rd round, and I watched his college shit just like everybody else did, and was like, oh, he's running after the catch and the rest of it. But all we know about Malachi Corley right now today is that the guy can't run a full route tree, and in an end around, he doesn't have the common sense to hold onto the football and walk into the end zone and score a touchdown. Instead, it's a touchback, and the ball's going the other way. And keep in mind, I'm not beating the guy up for one play, but this is all we have seen of the guy. And,
6 targets.
Well, but great, 6 targets. Are we going to is this the same Ruckert debacle? Ruckert just needs reps and on to get to, no. Look, I understand his gadgetry, Malachi Corley. I get why you would add him, but he makes more sense on a complete offense, not with what the Jets as a number 3 receiver? Are we doing that? That's Gibson.
Mark, he's a line of scrimmage guy.
Mark, Xavier Gibson's not a number 3, Mark.
No one's advocating that Malachi Corley is the second coming of God.
He's like Jarvis Landry. He reminds me a little bit of Jarvis Landry.
He's a scrimmage guy. We can't use the guy at the line of scrimmage. Like, we can't do anything with that. We can't have some offensive play calling, and God forbid we have a quarterback that if the pocket starts to break, he can move in the pocket.
Yeah, so
Mark, back to 18 points a game on the back of
perhaps cross the line of scrimmage. Imagine if a quarterback actually ran past the line of scrimmage. Imagine watching that football.
Quarterback running past the line.
Mark, did you hear Mike? Did you think Aaron Rodgers could have audibled and threw him a pass at the line or something?
Of course he could have. He could have gotten involved in the offense.
Because that's what he did. But
he wasn't going to trust him.
He just did it to whoever he was comfortable with.
No, Lazard and Devontae Adams, his lovers.
Right, who he was comfortable with.
Mark, you brought up a very good point.
I'm glad the players feel differently. Go ahead, Neil.
No, Mark, I'm not wait, Neil. I'm not trashing Rodgers as a player. I've never really trashed him. I'm just saying, like, his play wasn't as good as the stats say in my eyes. And listen, I'm a pro Rodgers guy with that. I wanted him back, but you can't bring him back this year, Mark, even with the salary cap going up. And I was an advocate to bring him back, but with that $63 million hit next year, it's better to just get rid of him and move on, to be honest.
I understand the money, Pete, but you also get what you pay for at that position. And the problem now, because, listen, I'm fine criticizing Rodgers' play. Like, that's the thing. The problem is the rest of it. Like, the fans now are turn on him and hate him, right? The media can't wait to trash the guy. But then, have we seen the player? Like, I'm just glad that the fans don't have the same opinion of the guy as the players do. The players clearly like the guy. Did you see what Jordan Travis said about him?
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry. I hate interrupting.
Jordan Travis, that's funny.
It's just only Jordan Travis.
Oh, only you
is the main player.
Room.
Is the main player same thing? You notice you didn't hear nothing from Garrett Wilson. You heard nothing from Breece Hall. You heard nothing from Elijah Vera Tucker. You heard nothing from Olu Fashanu. Key players you haven't heard from. So all this, the players like him. Y'all are so narrow-sided.
He's cooking, man. He's cooking.
Narrow, because I'm tired of hearing it.
Man, I took this one. I ain't gonna lie, man.
No, because they're bull crapping. I'm tired of hearing this. Oh, the players like him. No, the fuck they don't. No, they don't. That's why they've been quiet.
But Curtis, who is that? It's Mark right now.
No, it's been
offense. It ain't me.
No, not on this space. I'm talking about indefinite period. My favorite redhead. He likes to cry. I think he's over it now, but he was crying to where I can't even watch his damn show.
All right. Well, let's.
But anyway, let's move it. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, exactly.
Listen, but, I don't take it personal. I have a difference of opinion with you because I see what Quinny Williams writes and says, you know what? Great, we're going through another rebuild. Then he
okay, but that's not the player though. Sorry. My bad.
No, you're good, man. Listen, then he deletes the posts, and then fans chase his ass off of Twitter because that's what. So then that happened. And it's like, look, I don't like players going to social media to do it. Like, I didn't like when Mekhi Becton did it. I don't like when, Quinnen did that. I really don't like doing that. It's not like when players go to social media. I don't like that behavior at all. But what I'm saying is the attitudes of the players are different than the attitudes of the fan base when it comes specifically to Aaron Rodgers. And we have evidence of that.
Can I get a quick question in here for the room?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah,
You got
Curtis,
hands. We're just
mute.
talking, guys.
Curtis, you got to mute.
Hey,
I'll
That
do the
was
Curtis and mute. I don't know
that-
what's going on over there.
That's like a screwdriver or loud
It's
air.
like Tech's
I don't
under
know.
threat. All right, I'm going. All right, we're back.
What's the question, Heck? All right, it's off mute.
Sound like somebody's being forced to be a Jets fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like there's a 25-year drought of something. That thing is thirsty as hell.
All right.
Are we still muted? Oh no, we're back.
Go ahead, Hector. Yo, Heck, hit the mute button.
I'll speak for Hector. Hector wanted to say that he wants to draft Jackson Dart, man. He's the future for the Jets.
Absolutely not.
That's the buzz happening right now. The Jets are going to the combine to go get a quarterback, and Jackson Dart's at the top of their list.
He's gonna be. I like him, but he's gonna be super overhyped. Oh man.
Well, that's the treatment right now. That's where people are running up the boards for this quarterback class.
Here's my
Y'all like
question. I'm
motherfuckers
sorry.
that can throw far, huh?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Between Jacksonville, Cleveland, Chicago, Jets, and New England,
Yep.
who's going to rebuild first, and which team?
Well, New
would you
England
wanna
has
take?
their quarterback.
Cleveland.
I mean, Jacksonville's got an offensive-minded coach in Cohen. Plus, you're going to see what Trevor Lawrence is. This is it. Like,
Bro,
this is
no,
it.
Jacksonville, the owner is an idiot. Cleveland has the better head coach out of all teams.
But they don't have a quarterback.
Would you put the Jets
They
in
made
last
the playoffs
place
without a
as of the
quarterback.
rebuild?
Is the point that I'm making. If they get a decent guy, they'll be all right.
It depends, because I don't think the Jets roster is as bad.
And the thing is,
especially with the young guys.
and the
But
thing
Pete,
is,
you have no quarterback.
The thing
Yes,
is,
I'm not. Go ahead.
Petey, the thing is, the Browns spend a lot of money for Deshaun Watson.
Oh, I know. Mr.
lot.
Dolphin, 1 sec. Let me get to Dom and Neil because they've been waiting. So,
right.
And then I'll get to you. All right, bro?
All right.
Go to Neil first, Peach. I let Neil go first, bud.
All right. Neil, what's up? Is he talking?
I don't hear him.
No.
I cannot hear him.
Give another second, man.
1. Thanks, Show.
I tried.
Yeah, I know, man.
He probably got a call from work or
All right,
wifey.
Mr. Dolphin, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, buddy? The thing is, can I start? Can I talk about the state of the Miami Dolphins, if you don't mind?
I mean, we're kind of on the Jets now. I mean, if you want to talk, if you lead with the 25-year playoff roster wins, sure.
Yeah, the thing is, when you look at the Jets and the Miami Dolphins right now, the Miami Dolphins right now are quicksand when it comes to the quarterback situation. At least the Jets have the opportunity to make draft choices, to making sure they get their guy. They got their head coach, they got their general manager, and yet again, the Miami Dolphins are just stuck on quicksand that they cannot even dig themselves out, bro. It's just as other teams in the AFC East become better, the Miami Dolphins become the little sister of the AFC East, bro. That's what we are, PD. And salute to you guys, bro. Because you guys are getting it right, bro.
Thank you.
Salute
I hope
to
so.
you guys.
I mean, we don't have the. Did they ever call you instead of Mr. Dolphin, Mr. 305?
I am Mr.
Pitbull,
Dolphins
right?
305, but as a long time Dolphins season ticket holder for 10 years. 10 years. You know what it is, Petey? 10 years of buying season tickets, spending that money, and watching this mediocre ass team.
You're asking the wrong guy. PD knows for sure.
I actually do know, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, 1 year I laid down $7,000 for Dolphins season tickets, club level.
Wow.
I'm getting to the point, PD, and I'm sorry, brother, but I'm getting to a point that as long as the current regime is there, and there's no way out of it because you got Mr. Stephen Ross, the Miami Dolphins are not gonna go anywhere. They're not gonna
Yeah,
go
but
anywhere.
the more I was against you guys keeping the coach,
No, yeah,
I
Mr.
I don't know
Mr.
whether.
Cheerleader over there, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, but what's the complications if after this season, if you run it, obviously you're gonna run it with two again. When can you get out of Tua and it's not?
This upcoming year, man.
No,
So
that's
then there
that
you go.
that's
You can get a new coach
that's
with a
incorrect.
new option.
That's incorrect. If they don't want a playoff game, they're gonna clean house. And typically, our contracts we have it out on the third year, so
Yeah,
So
we'll be all right.
it's
so you can get a new coach and a new quarterback after
yeah,
this
a
year.
new coach, a new quarterback. It's rinse and repeat, rinse and
But I
repeat.
think it's better that you didn't bring in your new coach with the quarterback you're probably going to move on from after this year. It's better to just tie them together.
Well,
Hey
they're gonna
Buckeye,
fire the GM too. They're gonna fire the GM too. They're
Yeah.
gonna completely clean
But
house.
wait, yeah, I'm looking at it now. I mean, the Dolphins can get out of Tua
Yep,
next year. They'd eat 25, but they'd save
So
yeah,
31.2.
you get a
man.
new
Petey.
GM, new coach,
Yep.
and new
Wait,
quarterback.
wait, wait,
That's the
guys,
right way to
guys.
do it.
You know how hard it is to say.
If it doesn't go well, we
You
have
you
that.
know how hard it is to find a quarterback. The Miami Dolphins haven't found a quarterback since Dan Marino. Dan Marino. It's easy to say something. It to me, all the time for Tua, that whole narrative that I went through as a season ticket holder, watching my team get blown out by the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens at our own house. And yet again, you talk about, oh my God, let's get a new quarterback. You know what? I don't blame you guys. I blame the freaking Miami Dolphins organization. I blame Ross. I blame Tom Garfinkel.
Hmm.
I blame Chris Greer.
Mr. Dolphin, can I ask you one question? I did not expect this on my bingo card
Yeah, PD.
Monday
Let's talk about the Jets.
for the Dolphin. Well, I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm going to let him go for another. You got
I
another
bet
minute,
you are.
Mr. Dolphin.
Don't get mad when I bring back
What,
defenseless championships.
no,
Okay.
no, no. He will
I
not.
know the
He will not
skeletons in
come
the
in
fan
here.
base. Don't
You
do
you,
it.
you know Tua's legacy when it's all said and done is going to be off, in my opinion. It's not that he was a bad quarterback; he just couldn't stay fucking healthy.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, Mr. Dolphin, just
it's
finish up. Let him
it's
just
more than that.
showtime.
But
Yeah, showtime. I'm doing that for, I'm not being
no,
insensitive
no,
here.
no.
I
It's
just
all
want to
cool.
hear him for
I'm
another
all
minute.
open for the jokes. It's just
the
Yeah,
thing is,
go ahead,
it's a little embarrassing.
somebody mentioned about Tua not being healthy, but you know what? Number 13 stayed healthy, even though he didn't win a Super Bowl. He stayed healthy. Tua continues making the bold-headed mistakes to put his team in jeopardy, and that's why our season last year went to fucking shit, bro. As long as Tua stays healthy, we could compete. But if he does something stupid, then you know what? There goes our season, just like last year. Tua has to.
All right, Mr. Dolphin. All right, I got to move on to Neil and Dom.
Okay,
Stay
okay,
up
go
here, all
ahead.
right?
Go ahead, brother. Thank you.
No, I appreciate you, all right?
Thank you.
All right, bro. Appreciate you coming in. Stay up
I
here, though.
I bet you
Neil.
do.
Well, I mean, he wasn't disrespectful. I mean, he was trashing Tua, but
Hmm.
I don't think that's disrespectful.
Wait, PD. The thing is, Showtime has me blocked, bro. That's why he's up in his feelings right now. Continue on, though.
I didn't mention you at all.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
No, no, you don't want
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
yeah. Showtime has me
I
blocked,
don't
but
want to
it's
hurt his
okay.
feelings.
Continue on.
Well, All right, I'll do the courtesy, Mr. Dolphin. In here, if somebody has you blocked, you take care of it through DMs, not through Pete's space or Jet's Commute space or Pete, Mark, and June. You know, you can handle that, off the air. No personal things here. No offense to Showtime or anybody. Go ahead. Neil, go ahead, and then Dom.
I was going to kind of follow up with what Mark said earlier about the Western Kentucky route tree, and Buckeye's going to like this. I think one of the most underrated players in this draft class coming up is going to be Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. And when you talk about the route trees and coaching, nobody's doing a better job coaching wide receivers probably in all of football, college, and the pros than Brian Hartline is at Ohio State.
Yes,
And
sir.
Emeka Egbuka is going to come into this league as a Keenan Allen type of route runner, meaning he's going to be able to run all the routes at a high level. I think he's better than Olave and Jackson Smith and Jigba coming out.
Wait, you're comparing him to Keenan Allen? Whoa, that's a
No,
big
no, no, no,
phrase.
no, 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 no. I said his route running ability, different type of player than Keenan, but I think from a route running standpoint, Emeka Egbuka might be the best in this class, out of the gates day one, which makes him an immediate factor when somebody can run that NFL route tree. Like that guy's going to fall into a team because I think he goes later, probably maybe around pick 20, Pittsburgh, Houston. He's going to fall into a good situation and be an instant player that I think makes a lot of plays. Like Jeremiah Smith in 2 years, we all know how talented he is, but we also got to remember how well coached he's going to be coming out of Ohio State. Like Ohio State has become wide receiver U to me. And when you get a rookie from that school, you know that they're polished and they know route trees and they know the nuances on how to get open. So too early for the Jets at 7, no doubt about it, Emeka Egbuka. But I see popular names like Matthew Golden from Texas out there. Luther Burden from Missouri. I'm not saying he's better than Terry McMillan, but I do think that Emeka Egbuka is the second best receiver in this draft class.
Neil, I don't think the wide receiver class is deep for round one, but would you say it's deep for like rounds 2 to
See, I
4?
actually think that it's pretty deep for round one because I think you're going to see McMillan's definitely going to go. I think you're going to see Luther
Yes.
Burden's going to go. I think Egbuka's going to go. I think Matt Golden goes. And I think Trey Harris can sneak his way up to the end of the first round. I look at a team like if Washington can't get their receiver they want via trade, I could see Trey Harris being a pick to the Commanders at 29. I think it actually gets pretty light after the first round where there's some guys
Neil,
like
I think Jack Beck is a football player, man.
well, yeah, I was just going to say the two TCU guys I think go in the top half of the second round. Some people like that kid out of Stanford, Alec Illuminor. I don't really remember how to say his name. There's Isaiah Bond from Texas.
A.O. Minor.
A.O. Minor. The guy that I think going to be a gem in this class is actually Jalen Royals from Utah State. I think he's a guy that's got to get a little bit more love. But I actually think 4 or 5 receivers go round one, Petey.
Pete, you there? Might have stepped away. Come in, Petey. Yeah, appreciate that, Neil.
He might be getting his coffee.
Yeah, not.
I'm here.
There's
I'm here. No, I'm here. I do need a cup of coffee though. Go ahead. Especially after Andy.
No, just saying I appreciate
nice
hearing
little,
listen,
Dolphin
he's
slander.
saying a lot of stuff that look, man, we all have our come to Jesus moments when it comes to what's happening at the quarterback position. So, I'm not gonna throw stones at it, right? I think it's tricky because after he's paid, it's like, all right, well then, then now what? And now we're all of us who are hunting for a quarterback are looking at this underwhelming, top heavy quarterback class, and then you still quarterback just questions at quarterback. It's the worst. And as Jet fans, you don't have to tell us.
Yeah. I was gonna say I saw the comment by CB. Thanks. Yeah, like Andy, we don't need you to ask. No offense. What it is to have a quarterback.
Well, it's even worse, Pete, when you start thinking about the fact that the Jets have two former draft picks are franchise quarterbacks on other teams. In fact, one of the guys who's a franchise guy, I know we're saying, oh, it's 1 year. Oh, You know what? It's 1 year, and it's his last year for Sam Darnold. His most recent year.
But
Like,
Mark,
I think he can go somewhere and help a team win some games. But if not for the fact that the Jets soured their relationship with the guy, we would be like, oh man, we got to get Sam. Not Justin Fields. We'd be like, we got to get Sam Darnold here.
But when did you feel
He's run a
Sam
West
Darnold
Coast
was,
system.
when did you feel Sam Darnold was worth anything after this past season, Mark?
Sam
I
Darnold was with
listen
a top 5
in the,
OC in the league, so I don't know.
and
wait,
that's
the thing is, the same way that Sam Darnold was successful in Minnesota is the same way that the Miami Dolphins players have gone elsewhere and become successful.
well,
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Well, I need to see Darnold a little bit more. I mean, I know he had a great year,
Yeah.
but
he's
I
a
mean,
top 16
I
quarterback
don't
at
know.
best.
I
He's
don't.
not nothing
I don't
special.
think Darnold's a $40
No,
million
he's not.
guy.
He's
I
not.
don't.
He's better than Daniel Jones, though.
So,
But
That's
the
it.
thing is,
oh well.
The
when you talk
problem is you
about
have to ask. Hold on. The question. The
go ahead,
problem
buddy.
is that you have to ask yourself. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The problem is that you have to ask yourself: is he better than Tyrod Taylor? Is he better than some rookie that's coming out in this year's draft? Is he better
Well, he's gonna
than
be
some
better
of
than
these
a rookie because
other
he has
the
experience
rest
in
of
the
the free
league.
agent class? Well, that I know, but that's my point. Is that when the Jets are trying to figure out who's under quarterback next year, it's not, oh well, I understand saying well, Sam Darnold's a middle of the pack quarterback,
I think it depends who you
but
draft. If you do draft like a Kyle McCord or Jackson, I think they should sit. Then he can help you keep your flow for like a season or two while you guys build up the team. But I mean, I don't know if you guys want that.
Sam Darnold's not going to sign a 1 or 2 year deal. He's going to get paid. Someone's going to overpay him and regret it.
But the thing is, when it comes to Sam Darnold, he deserves that type of money. I'm the same Dolphins fan that's trying to advocate for Sam Darnold. But the thing is, when it comes to the Miami Dolphins and the Jets, the Miami Dolphins are stuck with a quarterback. The Jets have the opportunity to make a step. And I don't know if this rumor was correct about the Jets trying to move up to number one to get Cam Ward. I don't know if you guys seen it.
The
But
capital is going to be way too much for the Jets to pay. They're not going to. The Jets are. I think Cam Ward's a good
all
Yeah,
right,
prospect.
can I make a
but
bold prediction?
yeah,
Oh,
but the thing is, Petey,
what?
if you want,
But Andy, why would you want Sam Darnold? Why would
Yeah,
you
I
want
wouldn't want
Sam
Sam
Darnold
Darnold.
when you're paying Tua like
Why
$50
would they
million
trade it for
right
Cam
now?
Ward when they could try to trade for like a Burrow or something? It'll be probably the same fucking amount of picks. But
all right, I have a bold prediction,
You
Pete,
ain't getting.
and we're recorded. So, and look, I'm accountable. Some folks are not. I will be accountable for it. If the Jets trade up to go get Cam Ward in this year's draft, Aaron Glenn is gone
Mm-hmm.
in year 3. There's no way
Damn.
they're
Okay,
going to be able to make it work.
Cam Ward's a bust already. All right,
No,
cool.
the problem.
Got
No,
you.
he's not. Pete, look. I'm looking at this team as in terms of what it is. Okay, and the
But
Jets
Mark,
track
don't you? All right,
because they can't
go
build.
ahead,
I
because
have
I'm gonna
I have
go.
doubts that they're going to be able to build a team around Cam Ward that he's going to need in time for him to then be successful as the Jet quarterback. That's the
shouldn't
problem.
you feel
Okay,
that way
well.
about every quarterback then? Like, what's the point of a season? You might as well
No,
you might as
So
well
Showtime.
Mark,
listen.
eventually,
I'm a
Mark,
team
wait,
builder
wait, wait,
guy.
wait,
You
wait,
That's
wait,
might
my
as
wait,
well listen to
philosophy.
wait,
Buckeye
Mark,
because you made
Mark.
Buckeye's point earlier. Like what you just said.
Yeah, Mark, you're sending mixed
No,
messages for real.
no, it's a 3 to 4.
Well,
Look,
Mark,
all right, go ahead.
Mark, but can I just say one thing? Like,
Yes.
I don't know how to like answer this to you, Mark. Like, I don't know what's been going on the last month with you with this wild stuff,
He
It's
bro. It's
haven't
like
hearing
he haven't had his
people.
wild,
coffee,
It's
man.
man.
hearing people talk about.
hey,
No,
hey, hey,
people are giving strategy that sounds like losing football to me, and I get upset about it because I want the Jets to win.
So, Mark,
hey,
outside
Petey,
of Aaron Rodgers,
give him
he's
a
gone.
break,
What is
man.
your solution?
Give him a break.
My solution:
It's
you
Mark.
you steer
All right,
clear of
hold
Cam
on,
Ward.
Mark. I just muted the Mark. Please, guys, enough talking over each other. Please, I don't want to get a headache.
Look, I've been
Go ahead.
saying the same shit since the season ended. Since they parted ways with Rodgers, I've been saying the same exact thing, which is
Mark,
that
you've been
I
saying the
think.
same shit since they got rid of Zach Wilson. Who are you kidding?
Oh, here we go, Pete. But what I've been saying is the move is build your team. please build your roster, build your team, and then I think Kyle McCord is a guy that you get and sit. I like that. We had what is it? Shout out to it's wild. We're seeing jet content creators start talking about this guy now, and John Vogel came in here like weeks ago. It was like, for the scheme of the system, like that's probably the guy you want to circle. So I think that's what you do, but you have other areas of the team that you can build out through the draft and start doing
Okay.
DPA and really build your roster.
Okay, so why when I say
That's the
Justin
move.
Fields, do you say that's a 3-4 win team and your build out the rest of the team? What is that? A 10-win team? Explain your playoff
Detroit
move.
All right. So here's how. Well, look. Instead of just talking, I'm going based off of what Detroit did in their first year, and this was, by the way, with Goff as their quarterback, not Justin Fields. Who, by the way, I've been asking people, can Justin Fields read the defense, and the answers aren't good.
We don't know, Mark. We don't know.
Mark,
He's been
can I
That's
ask
the
coached by
Buckeye talking.
he's
Mark,
been
Mark,
coached by crap.
wait, Buckeye, can hold on one second. Mark, can you just answer this shortly, please? Because I don't want to hear a
Yes.
monologue about Justin Fields and building a team.
Okay. Yeah. What do you want me to answer?
He's in the blender. I just still haven't heard, Mark, where your plan is to win 10 games. Because Fields is 3-4, but build the rest of the roster and draft McCord is what? 10?
It's a long-term play. The idea is that.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So it's 3-4 wins.
I don't know how you guys bring Justin Fields up, man. Guy sucks. Continue.
He can run. He can run around. Listen, Andy,
Mark,
he
you want
can
to run
run
the
around.
football?
This
That's
is the
Justin
argument for
Fields.
Justin Fields. You
This
ready?
is
He can run
brutal,
around.
man. Yeah, and he can have RPO, something we've never had, Mark.
But Petey, did you
And he
just
can do
hear
some
Mark say it's a
RPOs.
long-term plan?
And
And
he can
Aaron
force
Rodgers
feed
was his
Garrett
first
Wilson.
choice as a long-term plan.
He can
Yeah,
force feed Garrett Wilson. Now you're putting words in my mouth. Listen, if you want to have a
Buckeye,
good faith
can I
convo, I'm
ask
here
one
for it.
thing? Why are
But
you going to
please,
interrupt Mark all the time? Don't interrupt him.
Don't interrupt, huh?
Hey, Petey, can I ask something really quick, brother? You guys don't want Justin Fields, bro. Because
no, we
if you
can't read
guys
the
get
defense,
Justin
man.
Fields, you guys will continue being mediocre, bro. Gotta make that move, bro. Go ahead, Tom.
Hey
Hey,
guys, good
Pete.
morning.
Yeah, Tom, real quick. Pete. Pete. I call you Pete, Andy. Andy, I'd like to. You're the unofficial co-host for going to the hand, so thank you for that. Go ahead, Tom, and then F
No,
and
What's
no
up,
Jim.
problem,
Tom?
brother.
Hey guys, good morning. I just
Morning.
wanted
What's up?
to whoever was speaking about the wide receivers going in a draft. I totally agree with what he said.
That was Neil.
I can't remember who it was speaking before, but they said, "Oh, there could be a run of wide receivers in the first round," and I totally agree about Trey Harris. Trey Harris will probably be the first pick in the second round if he doesn't make it in the first. But I would like to say that if Golden should fall to the Bills, I think it would be very hard pressed for the Bills not to take Matthew Golden and us take a receiver in the first round. My second point is when you guys were talking about Darnold, PD, I have to agree with you. I got to see some more of him. That is an amazing wide receiving core. And no offense, they could put PD back there, and I think he'd throw for 2,000 yards. I mean, it's just, I mean, he had a great season. I don't want to take anything away from him, but I would definitely have to see some more from him before I offered him a $40 million a year contract.
He's not worth that, bro.
Yeah. And Mark, what do you want to see? What is your gate like? What is your Christmas gift under the tree? Hope for quarterback for the Jets. I would like to hear it.
I think the Jets, once they cut ties with Aaron Rodgers, I looked at the free agent class of what's out there. I'm like, all right, like I don't know what they're going to do. There's no road for them to be competitive this year after that move. So that means now you got to go and find a quarterback. Instead of shooting up the draft boards and expending a ton of draft capital for a quarterback, I'd rather see them get a developmental guy and sit that guy for a year if they can do it, and then build out the rest of the roster.
You didn't
right now,
ask.
Kyle McCord is my favorite guy.
Wait, Mark.
Who's the quarterback,
Hold
Mark?
on.
He asked you a
Buckeye.
question.
Buckeye. Hold on. You just said they're not going to be competitive now, Mark. Okay.
It's
You're the
crazy.
one. Wait, Buckeye. You're Mark. You're the same guy that was clamoring for good coaching. Now you're
Yes.
basically saying these guys aren't good coaches, and they haven't even coached the game yet.
No,
So
I'm
what,
saying.
Mark, seriously though, what are you saying here?
He hasn't even answered who the quarterback
What I'm
is next
saying.
year.
I just answered Tom's
No,
question.
you said
That's what I
McCord
wanted
is
to do.
Let's
developmental,
not
so
gang
you're
up on
starting
him.
McCord?
No, they're going to end up probably starting Taylor, is my guess.
Okay, he gets hurt. Then what? McCord?
No, well, it's going to be, well, that's the problem. It's going to be Taylor.
So then, Mark, please
and then it's going to be Jordan
question.
Travis, and we don't know what he is at all because he didn't play at all last year. Was healthy.
You know what he
Wasn't
is?
healthy.
He's nothing.
And then they're going to get McCord.
He would have been something.
Keep going in circle. We keep going in circles until we get that QB.
If he
I think Mark just
tank,
described a 3-4 win team.
If Travis,
Welcome.
that's what
if
we
Travis
need.
couldn't convince a
we
bad
need.
OC, you think he's going to convince a good one? Think about that.
The problem with Travis is, I don't know what the hell he is.
Well, he loves Aaron Rodgers. We know that.
He's
he loves Aaron.
He's a backup. He can get you coffee. I'm sure he's a good guy.
Start
loves
Tim
Aaron.
Boyle, and we'll get a quarterback next year. Start Tim Boyle. That's my solution.
Tim Boyle?
He's
Holy
cheap.
shit.
Yeah.
He should join the 3-4 win team with a take like that.
Hector, come on. You're getting like they have a thing. They used to have a thing on Moment of the Day on WFAN. That's a brutal take.
I don't think Tim Boyle's in Madden. I don't even think you can load him up as a
Go
player.
ahead.
Here's my
Tim
question.
Boyle?
We keep going in circles, and nobody can come with a solution for the quarterback of the future and where to go. It's going to come through the draft.
Right,
we got to get in
that,
position.
Hector.
Petey, how long has it been since Sanchez that we've had a quarterback?
Sanchez wasn't a franchise quarterback.
Hector, they've had two quarterbacks and they let them go. They had Geno, they had Darnold. Both guys are starting for other teams.
With a high draft pick than a lower draft pick. We got to position ourselves for next year to get the guy that we need, or else we're going to keep going in circles.
Petey,
that's what I'm
saying.
Petey, question. Yes. Did Mark just describe a 3-4 win team in his plan?
I mean, I'm not speaking for Mark. You can.
So he said, let's go with a developmental quarterback for McCord and have Tyrod Taylor start. But
it's absurd.
And build the rest of the roster. That was what Mark's plan was. And if something goes wrong, Jordan Travis can come in. You're telling me that's not a 3-4 win team?
I mean, if Jordan Travis is playing, unless he has an unbelievable rookie year like Russell Wilson, probably it's going to be low.
Does he have any? Does he have any tape in preseason?
No, he didn't play at all.
Holy
shit.
All
last year because he had an awful year. He didn't have a bad year. He was hurt. He had a really bad injury in college, so we don't know what he is.
Look at next year's schedule, and it's supposed to be an easier schedule for us. I don't see us winning more than 4 games.
May I say something
optimistic?
Yeah, wait, Hector, 1 second. So we're getting swept in the division, right? According to you.
Petey?
I said that too.
We're not beating Miami. We can't score enough points to beat Miami.
Okay.
Pete, the second the Jets cut ties with Aaron Rodgers, the very first thing I said after that is that they're getting swept by the division. That's the first thing. And then they're going to win some 3 to 4 games in Aaron Glenn's first year as a head coach. And he's going to have to go to the podium and answer questions about, and the post is going to rip them apart. And they're going to say shit like, oh, it's worse than Saleh. That's what's going to happen.
The post.
The press is going to murder him.
Buffalo's going to blow us out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to squander. And I don't want that for him. And that's the reason why that's why I don't like, look, I understand fans turned on Aaron Rodgers and like, oh, he's terrible and the rest of it. We want him out of here as a cancer and all those opinions. I understand all that.
Mark, but that has nothing to do with next year. He's gone.
I know he's gone.
But he's gone. Adams is gone. There's so many guys gone that the team is worse for next year than it was this year.
Yes, right now it is, yes. But
and how many games did we win this year?
All right. Well, so Atlanta scares you and Carolina coming to MetLife, please.
Yes.
You know why we're better? Because we're going to have cap flexibility going into the following year. We're finally not going to be straddling a fence, going into off seasons, arguing with Bills fans and betting them and losing these bets, thinking we're contenders. We're not. We're not.
The spreadsheet. Okay, now we're getting to it. Look, man, the spreadsheet.
Buckeye, hold on. Speak for yourself.
I just did. I just did.
I
just did. But Petey, you, myself, and everybody else had us as contenders. It was
Oh
fake.
yeah, of
It was
course.
fake.
Most Jet fans did.
It
Well,
was,
too, you're
and it was
right.
fake, Petey. We got duped. It was fake.
Well, all right, Hector. To be fair though, the
Yeah.
year one did get that. The year one, we did have an excuse.
Yeah, the
Right.
thing is, the first year Aaron Rodgers went down with an injury.
But then we destroyed our defense.
We also
In the
destroyed our
coming
front
year.
office
The
5
thing
weeks
is,
in,
the thing
and we
is,
ignore that.
my bad. I just got a phone call. The thing is, and I'm gonna step out. The thing is, the Jets, believe it or not, what happened the previous year to now is that they didn't have a quarterback, and right now with her movements and to who is it? Rudy Johnson, the owner. It's time to win. There's gonna be plenty of movement, and now it's gonna be very critical when it comes to the draft for the
Yeah,
Jets.
Andy. We know that. No offense.
Andy, in the
All right.
short term, the Jets ain't winning shit.
Wait,
Like
wait, wait,
they
Mark,
decided
but
to
brother,
ditch.
I
don't.
agree. I agree.
Yeah,
But
that's what
don't
I'm
do
saying,
that
man.
because you know what? You're one player away. You're one player away. You got the defense already.
No, we don't.
No, we
No,
No,
we
we
don't.
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 They
Oh
have
no, we don't.
Andy.
You guys don't
Listen,
have the
Andy.
defense.
No,
No.
No, because
they tore
after
that
week 5,
apart.
let me explain what happened. After week 5, they got rid of the guy who is the
Here
defensive
we go
genius on
with
the
the
team.
solid
He's
defender
out.
here.
So the Jets have
The
players, but they don't
Kinlaw guy.
have
We got rid of
great
Kinlaw
coaching.
guy.
Okay, so great.
We
Yeah,
have
I'm sure. So
non-starters
Kinlaw is
leaving
why
that
they
are
won
gone.
5 games. Got it.
Mark, use the
So
mute
look,
button if you need to. You keep getting
I won't.
interrupted, even
No,
by
I'm
me.
not. But listen, the point is, Andy, they have, and fans disagree. They disagree on the point of whether or not this was a talented roster with really shit coaching, or if the players, if the talent was overrated and the coaching was bad. I think fans, honestly, listening to folks, I still think there's a lot of emotion from last year
Hmm.
going into this year, and folks think that the players on the team are worse than they actually are. We all know the coaching wasn't great, but listen, both Glenn and Wilkes should field a much better defense with the current talent, but it's going to be their first year for all these players in a new scheme. And it is a new scheme. I know it's going to have 4
Yeah.
down guys, but it's a different scheme. So there's going to be some miscommunications. It's going to be a learning curve around
Mark,
this
how
defense
much
and its
more
performance.
miscommunication is there going to be from last year when you had
Well, Pete,
people wide open? Come on, Mark.
yeah.
We
Well,
got
Pete, we saw
no.
all this. Hold on, we saw all this. People are acting like this is rocket science. It's not. Pete, we saw all this with Salah's first year trying to get his defense sorted and get the personnel and the rest of it. Like, they weren't a great defense to start. It took Quentin Williams having an argument with Aaron Whitecotton on the sideline and saying, "Stop effing blitzing, like we got this up front," and it lit a fire into the
But
front
Mark, it
four.
only
And then they started
equivalated to
playing.
7 wins, Mark.
Mark,
I
I got a
understand that.
question for you, Mark.
That's because
We
they couldn't
have
All
score
right.
more than 16
we
points.
have Quinton Williams, Johnson, McDonald, uh, Sauce, and Carter.
Michael
That's
Carter.
it on defense.
We
That's
get a
it.
few players that buy in. The starters we're losing. DJ Reed is the only one that's really good on defense. Our safety
I
Reed
mean, you can
No,
Shell.
make
but
an argument for Sherwood, though.
Sherwood's replaceable though.
I think he's leaving.
I think our
That's a
defense
lot of
gets us
So
some
do
tackles.
key
I.
players.
I do think, I hope they re-sign Jamie and Sherwood, but I think he's going to go.
I'd like to re-sign him too, but he is replaceable.
Mark didn't
That
address
shows
something.
all the holes. Look at all the holes they have there.
Mark didn't address something. That when Salah was
Yeah,
here,
Buckeye, you got it in. I should send you.
I
You
have
got
to.
it in for me
I
this
have
morning.
to.
Go ahead.
The penalties, did they ever get cleaned up?
Oh,
Nope.
this is one of the most penalized teams in football.
Is that a head coach thing?
Clock issues, penalized.
Is that a head coach thing?
Well, asked and answered. Did you know it's a head coach problem?
Right.
Of course.
So clock management and penalties were his nemesis. Obviously, he can't do anything. He's inept offensively. He can't pick coaches. So this whole narrative of the season went to peril when we got rid of that guy. We just
now you're leaving something
also
out.
personnel usage. You gotta put that out.
Yeah,
there.
we just
Yeah, but
replaced a
listen.
bad guy with a horrible guy. That's all we did.
This is selective. So now you're leaving. Listen, if you don't want to tell the whole story, that's fine. The other part of the story is the fact that the Jet defense through 2 years was an elite unit. Even Andy came up here and was like, "Oh, wait, you guys don't have a defense anymore?" That's because the Jets actually had a defense. I understand
It
they didn't
wasn't
turn
elite
over the
last year.
ball to our expectation, but in the first 5 weeks, they were ranked like 4th in the league overall.
Because nobody threw the
And
ball.
then after
as
they got rid of the coach,
They needed to score
all right.
14 points.
It's
Nobody threw the ball, man.
as much as I hate to say I agree with Mark on this one, the stats don't lie. The Jets defense was in the top 5 when Salah was here in the beginning of the year, but
I
it's
mean,
still
Petey.
irrelevant.
the
Petey.
stats
It's
lie. The
irrelevant.
stats don't
Can I
lie,
say
It's
Pete,
something real quick?
if they
irrelevant.
don't suit the point you're trying
Yeah.
to make. That's the problem. I'm just looking at what the hell. All right, go ahead.
I mean,
PD,
technically, you guys still had a top 5 defense.
can I say something real quick?
Not according to Jet fans. According to
Yes,
Jet fans, this
please. And
ship
then I
was
want to get
a
to
joke all
Jim.
year.
Go ahead.
Mark,
Winning's the
Mark,
only
But the
stat
Titans
that
also had a
matters.
top. There was like 3 bad teams that had top 5 defenses.
Mark. I respect
Go
you.
ahead.
I really like you. I think you have a great opinion on football and intelligent. But I'm going to have to go with Buckeye on this. You are describing a 3 to 4 win team next year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no offense, but I'm an outsider looking in, and that's how I feel. That's what I feel that you're describing for next year.
The problem,
Hey,
Tom, is quarterback play.
hey guys,
That's the flaw.
hey guys, I gotta step out. I'll be right back. Okay. Great
Thanks for being
space,
in,
by
man.
the way.
Have a
Yeah,
great day,
man.
brother.
Thanks, man.
And,
Have a good day.
we keep going back and forth with this with Rodgers. It's like, would you rather want to try to get the 7-8 wins, or would you rather just get it out the way now? Get the bag, you're out the way, find your quarterback, and get ready and try to get ready for the future.
Right.
I mean, it's just like, I think that's the question. That's the real question. Like I said, you know, we'll never know the reason why Aaron Rodgers truly left. You know, some people will say it was because he was a cancer in the locker room. Some people will say because he saves you money down the road, even though you still got to pay him what close to $50 million. We'll never know.
I
But
thought he
the
left
fact,
because they asked him to leave.
yeah, I mean, this, you know, I
They did ask him to leave.
yeah.
And he wanted to come back, by the way.
Yep. He wanted to come back. And listen, Aaron Rodgers, because I heard this a little bit about this earlier, right? Aaron Rodgers is not the easiest player to work with. I'm not saying in the locker room, because in the locker room, I mean, the players, they don't really give him the players don't really complain that much about Aaron Rodgers. It's the coaching. It's really the coaching staff. The coaching staff and front office are the ones that kind of give Aaron Rodgers that the relationship, the dynamic relationship, is not that. I mean, it's just not that good from an organizational standpoint. Yes, you don't hear a lot of players talk trash, but you will hear a lot of assistant coaches. You'll hear people from the front office, and a lot of some NFL execs. They will talk shit about Aaron Rodgers, and so from a business standpoint, he's not. I just don't think he was the best quarterback to do it. Now again, he wanted to come back to the Jets because the regime gave him that respect, and they pretty much gave him everything that he wanted. But I think at the end of the day, man, like they asked Aaron Glenn. I think you have to run this by Aaron Glenn to whether or not they want him back as a quarterback. And I think Aaron Glenn said no. I would rather no. I'd rather get my own guys in here and
When
let's start this thing
when you
brand
have
new.
Well, what's done is done.
when you have a subordinate in your business that feels they can run your business better than you're going to have problems. That's all I'm going to say about Rogers.
I agree with that. And listen, what's done is done, and the guy's gone. And now the Jets need a way to try to replace that production if they're going to win more than 3 to 4 wins. And folks are saying, okay, Tyrod is like, show me a year where he could stay healthy. And look, you don't have an answer right tackle right now. They got to figure that part out, right? So that's like, it's another challenge. It's not like the Jets have Detroit's O-line up front like that. That's so now let's imagine, if Taylor gets hurt, which I don't hope for the guy at all, he gets hurt. Now it's Jordan Travis, who we haven't even
Mark,
seen what he
it's
looks
not
like,
going to
and
be
he's a
Mark.
guy they're not wedded
We
to.
don't even know it's going to be Jordan Travis, though. He's not even cleared yet to play.
All right, Pete, who's your quarterback then? Oh no,
Right
so
now
who's the
it's
quarterback?
Tyrod might not even be the
Tyrod.
starter.
Right now
Yeah,
it's
Mark.
Tyrod. Can
Oh
I
boy,
answer, please? It's
yes.
Tyrod Taylor, and then it's probably a veteran, maybe Justin. I don't know, Cousins, Justin Fields. somebody else, and then they're
I'd
going to
rather have
draft
Jared
somebody.
Fields than Justin Fields. They're good, Pete.
Well,
The tight ends and who's the receivers?
we don't know yet. There's free agents
Yes.
available.
Yes.
Whatchamacallit,
Garrett.
Yes, for
there's going to be
sure.
free agents. I didn't look into that yet. There's
It's Garrett and
Mark. There's 4 hands up or
You
whatever.
gotta wait
Yeah.
till what, after March 20th, until like you guys see who's getting tagged, not tagged. Then you'll know who's actually, because like the
No,
Jags are about to get rid of Kirk, Christian Kirk,
well,
possibly.
yeah. 2 weeks from today is June. Good morning. Hold on. 2 weeks
You
from
also got to
today.
learn a whole new offense too. Oh, sorry.
Two weeks from today is the tampering period, so you can sign free agents technically next 2 weeks from Wednesday, but you can start negotiating and agree to deals in 2 weeks from today.
I don't expect much.
No, I
I don't
don't
know how they're
expect
winning
much
any games at this point.
I don't expect much day one, but the Jets are going to sign players.
Okay, let's say we do
They're
sign
gonna
second-tier players.
they're gonna
How
sign a
much of an
quarterback.
improvement is that going to be to get
Well,
us
you're
over a
already
4-win
counting it
season?
out, Hector.
Petey, I'm going to tell you again why I counted out. We need 6 guys, not counting depth players on defense, and we need about the same amount on
So, all right.
offense.
So you mean to tell me that Ashton Davis and Chuck Clark aren't replaceable players? Come on.
No, they stink. But
Okay.
how
So
big is
there's
the?
two star. All right. So there's 2 starters. Well, he
Yep.
wasn't the starter, but
Who's your
Tony
linebacker?
Adams. Tony Adams. You
Okay,
can't find a veteran on free agency
where are we
that's better
getting?
than
Okay,
Adams.
Petey, but we need money. So we got
Yeah.
to get 2 linebackers, 2
Yep.
safeties, 2 tackles. That's just on
Mm-hmm.
defense.
2 tackles from 2 defensive
2
tackles
D
on
tackles.
defense.
Yes.
Okay, but you're
Then
not going to
on
pay
offense,
2 guys. You already have Quinn and Williams, so technically you need one other guy, and you can plug him.
Quinn's
And
out after every other play.
Two tight
He's
ends.
sitting. You need tight ends.
Two
You
tight
need a
ends.
right tackle. You need 2 receivers. The only thing
Yes.
we have a surplus at is running back, and we don't even have and that's not. And then let's go to special teams.
our
Our 3 units are
all
terrible.
right.
Well,
So Hector,
in
the
this
state
So
has
draft,
been over the cap for 3 years, and they had roster holes. Did they plug and fill them? I know they weren't good, but they
Look where they
still
are
fielded
now.
a
well,
team.
well,
They
this is
fielded
We
a team
can't do
though.
that. But if we go and we can field the team. But I'm telling you, it's going to be 3 and 4,
this is a
3
good
to 4
draft
Three
for
and
tight
wins.
end and
three
D
and
tackles, though. You couldn't fill those needs.
all right,
yep,
guys. No
that's a
offense.
fact.
Jim's been waiting for a while. Jim, go ahead.
One more quick question, Petey. And believe me, the only guy I see that we have that I can see with a good future of a young guy that didn't play is Taylor the third. Who else did impress us? Say, hey, that guy, right? Maybe
Well,
the guy
maybe
that came.
Braylon McGregor and Eric Watts develop under Glenn too. You don't know. You don't
Watts is
know.
so bad.
Okay, he had a bad year, but I'm just saying you don't know.
But you see all that we have no depth. We have who on the
Hector, I
offensive
do
line?
see it. I just don't think they're going to win 3 or 4 games next year. I'm not
Who's our
saying they're
depth?
going to make the playoffs, but I'm not on that campaign of 3 to
Right.
4 wins.
Who's our backup offensive lineman that we have?
We still have 3 of them.
Who
Max
are they good?
Mitchell, who stinks.
Terrible.
Carter Warren, who stinks.
Terrible.
And there's another guy. I forget his name.
He's terrible
Oh,
too.
what about Xavier Newman? He wasn't terrible,
Okay,
but he
let's say
He's
got
fit
hurt.
Xavier
for
He
a
Newman.
got a
practice
neck.
He's
squad.
small. He's small.
He's fit for the practice squad. Like that's the level of talent.
All right. Well,
No one's starting or having him
well,
be a quality backup on their football team.
speaking of fit, let's get people to fit in the conversation here. Go ahead, Jim.
Pause.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey, Jim. Hey, did
What's
I
up,
wake
Jim?
you?
No, I was
Happy.
waiting
Hey, Jim.
patiently.
Jim, happy Monday. Happy belated birthday. Have a great
Hey,
day.
thanks,
All
bro.
right.
Back at you. Back
All
at
right,
you.
you.
Hope you had a phenomenal weekend, Petey.
I
Now,
did.
Mark, I think I heard this
Happy
correctly.
birthday, Jim.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Back at you. Mark, I think I heard this correctly. Did you say if the Jets draft Cam Ward, Glenn and Muji will basically be fired in 3 years?
Glenn fired in 3. That's what I said.
Glenn.
If they sell the farm for Cam Ward,
Yep.
I think Glenn is gone in 3 years.
So if you make that statement, like you have no faith in Glenn at all, then
Wait, Mark, is this because of Zach Wilson? You're afraid that the Zach Wilson
Yeah, he
situation?
doesn't have faith. Jim. Go ahead.
No,
Keep cooking.
we can't. No, so I was curious. So if you make that statement, you have no faith in Glenn as a head coach, and if the quarterback that they draft is going to get him fired because I guess he's a bad coach then, like Muji's going to go. That's not a good thing on Muji either. If they give up the farm for a guy like Cam Ward, I mean, that's a bold statement to make before they even did anything yet.
Yes,
how does one guy gonna make them fail in 3 years?
I'll explain.
I mean, I pray to God you're wrong, because that would suck for every Jets fan here.
Me too. Jim, I've been saying shit and been praying that I'm wrong a lot because I want them to win. And when I see moves and the moves flunk the season, I've been hoping that I'm wrong on a lot of this shit, Jim, because I want them to win and be a perennial, like I want a winning football team. The problem with Ward and Splash and stuff, it's not necessarily about Glenn. It's the assets that you're giving up to go get Cam Ward, and then you need to build out the rest of your team, and you're giving away all this draft capital to do it. And the thing is, you got a first-time defensive-minded head coach. I know. Listen, I love Aaron Glenn. I think he's the right guy. All right, but it's a first-time defensive-minded head coach. You got a first-year OC in a really difficult media market. And my problem will be if you get Cam Ward in here, and what happens if he has even, there's going to be, the fan base will be clamoring for this guy to start out of the gate. You don't jump up to 1 overall or wherever it's going to be and have this guy sit, right? They're not going to do that. And now they're wedded to Cam Ward, just like the previous ad man was wedded to Wilson. So it's like he's got to work. And if it doesn't, now you've expended all this capital, you haven't fixed it. And the 3 to 4 win team will tell you, holes all over the roster, everywhere. They got to replace a lot of talent. So now you're giving Ward like a team that's not really built yet. Like
But Mark,
problem.
When you draft a rookie, is everybody
and they'll
built?
lose.
Yes, but Mark, that is so, I can't even think of the word, like presumptuous and like, I mean, I don't even know how to like.
It's disingenuous.
Asinine.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Mark,
that's
that is a
asinine.
lot.
It is. You want some more
Like,
words?
how about we
Jim,
think
I
this?
don't want to use Jim, I don't want to use the mute button.
Short-sighted.
Jim,
That's
it's
horrible.
Pete, if you fucking mute me, I'm gonna fine you, bro. Don't even. I've been fucking quiet for 20 minutes.
Let him
Listen
go.
to everybody.
Let him go. Let him go. Get him.
It's called All Gas No Takes by Mark.
Yeah, all right. You fucking lay off the mute button, Petey. So
Get him.
So Mark, like that's a lot. I'm just saying, like they will, the guys that talking about we have no depth and this that, we will field the 53. Now it might not be fucking all pros, up and down the fucking roster.
Thank you.
But they will have 53 guys on the roster. Let's hope this coaching staff. I mean, they can't get any worse than the last one. So let's hope like they're going to be better, developing guys and making guys play to their ability. And but Mark, that is a lot. How about? I mean, that's usually fucking gloom and June. You went past June's shit.
Yes, he did.
June is the guy that usually aggravates me. But Mark, you took it to a whole different fucking level today.
Jim, I did. Well, listen, I said it was a bold prediction. And folks, I'm seeing, listen, it's a quiet time of year. And I'm seeing folks say, oh, the Jets are, there's conversation about the Jets shooting up the board to go get. I think it's a bunch of smoke, number one. And I also think it's a quiet time. And so folks are saying stuff to get attention. And they're saying, oh, well, the Jets are going to shoot up the board to go get Cam Ward. That's part of it. Let's inflate this guy's. I don't think they're going to do that. I really don't. I also don't think that they should do that. And again, I'm not trying to shit on Cam Ward. I'm just trying to see where the Jets are at from a roster development perspective. You got a bunch of first-year guys that need to install their culture and get shit set up. I just don't want to put a young quarterback in there until things are set. I would rather a second-year, Engstrom be in his second year, right? And you understand, okay, here's the plan. Here's what this shit looks like for real. And then you go, and fine, that means spend a pick on a developmental guy.
Mark, if Cam Ward is their guy, if they identify Cam Ward as their guy, and he actually becomes the guy, fucking finally for this franchise and this fan base. Like you know, I mean, it could happen. It could go the other way of what you think it's gonna be. I'm just saying, like that's a lot. You have them taking Cam Ward,
But
Trey
Where
Fitz, and
where would
Aaron Glenn
Cam Ward
fired in
go in
3
last
years.
year? Where would Cam Ward go in last year's draft amongst those quarterbacks?
He would be.
I have no
Mark,
idea.
you're
I'm asking.
deflecting, Mark.
He would.
You're
No, I'm
deflecting,
asking a
though.
question.
He would be.
I'm asking a question.
I couldn't answer it. I have no idea.
Mark, Mark, where would Olu Fashional have gone?
He'll be the number one tackle. He'll be the right now. He would be the number one tackle in the draft class right now.
That was a bad comparison.
Mark, I'm just saying, you call that a bold take? Like it's bold to the friggin' 100th degree.
Yeah. Like
that
All right,
is.
well,
Ward would be.
I'm not going to half-ass it, Jim, and it's recorded.
You did not. I'll give you.
He would.
You
be
did
in the,
not.
He would
You
be
went
in the
all
same
in,
class
Mark.
as like a Michael Penix or even JJ. Like he'll be there. Like he's behind Daniels and he's behind Caleb. He's behind those two. He would be QB3.
All right, so imagine spending draft capital, right? Because you're going to have to go up to, what, 1 or 2 overall to get this guy potentially, right? Or do you think he'll fall to 3? Because Abdul Carter will go.
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't know what like, depending on what the Titans do. Like, the Titans can take him or they can trade back. I have no idea what they're going to do.
All right, well, let's presume you have to expend, I don't know, up to, pick number 3 potential to get the guy, right? So you're expending all that for a guy, and where were Penix and McCarthy drafted? Like middle of the first?
No, Penix was drafted top 10, and McCarthy was drafted top 10, and yeah, they both were drafted top 10. And then Bo Nix.
You're both drafted top 10?
Yeah, yep, they both were. Because remember, the Vikings had a top 10 pick.
No. Shit. Penix was drafted at 9. I think McCarthy was taken in after 10 because we were there.
You think he was 11th?
Yeah, somewhere around.
Okay, and then Bo Nix went.
And Ben Bo Nix went.
Yeah, they were both
Yeah.
top 20 picks.
Yeah. Yes.
And then JJ
Well,
got hurt.
didn't McCarthy go 10? They traded up with the Jets, and the Jets moved down and got an extra third-round pick, which they wouldn't have had this year. So that actually was a good move, to be honest, because now we have a third-round. Even though it's Detroit's, I believe Minnesota had Detroit's or whatever it was. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Minnesota, was it? Was it Minnesota?
Yes, I think it was.
If Minnesota would have drafted Cam Ward over JJ McCarthy, they would have took him over JJ. So he would have been QB3.
Yeah, but they picked him 10th. They swapped with the Jets and they got him 10th overall.
Yeah,
imagine
right.
That.
Cam Ward is projected to could go 1st overall.
Cam Ward is going number 1. It's not even.
Yeah, so that's the kind of draft capital to go from 7. Right. Yeah, so if you bottom out your draft capital to go get Cam Ward, he may be the guy, Jim. But my concern is, okay, well, now you need all these other players.
My only pushback to you, Mark, bro, if you identify who the guy is, you will have it in hell to get him. Who gives a fuck about the rest?
Yeah, but I understand. But identifying who the guy is, it's nebulous.
So you're telling me if you had a draft and you know who Tom Brady was going to be Tom Brady, you would have moved heaven and earth to get him? I forgot the rest.
Oh, of course you would, but you can't do that after seeing his Hall of Fame career. You have to do it on draft day. That's the problem.
No, what I'm saying is that you have the insight, and you have conviction that all right, this guy can be Tom Brady. I mean, you got to do it.
But Showtime.
If they identify Cam Ward as the guy, and they're gonna, and if they want to try to go after him, then yeah, they're gonna move.
Because you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get somebody else that's not your guy, and be like, well, he's not the guy I wanted. You're gonna be even more mad. That they got something.
I understand Showtime, but listen, man. But we don't, as fans, we don't have the time machine on this one. And if you ask Jet fans about that, Geno Smith would have still been here.
But it's not. It's not about the Commanders did it. They looked at Jaden.
We don't have the access.
They looked at Jaden Daniels and said, "This is the motherfucking guy." People laughed at that pick, and they went to the fucking playoffs. I'm just saying, bro.
Well,
if you see a guy and you have conviction, you gotta go get him. It don't matter the round. It is what it is. He just happens to be the first round pick in this draft.
That's the fact.
Well, it doesn't happen every day. I mean, I just don't want to use the outlier case as the case because you could say the same thing with the Texans and Stroud, right? Like they got him, but then you also see, did he have a sophomore slump? round last year, or was it?
Yeah,
Like Slowick got fired.
but that team is successful though. Like, who cares if they had a down year? That means you had an up year off rip. Like, what? You got to be
Two
up before you go
Well,
down.
back-to-back playoff bursts.
Like, what are we
Yep.
talking
But
about?
this,
Like,
but this is why draft capital and draft position is it's just so important because Jaden Daniels fell. I mean, he fell right into their lap in
Yep.
order for them to be in a position to take it.
Yep.
But then you may have a situation like Bo Nix where Bo Nix, with the combination of Sean Payton, was able to make the Broncos a much better team than when they had Russell Wilson. Dak Prescott fourth round to the Cowboys, Russell Wilson third round to the Seahawks. Like talent evaluation, draft position, draft capital, that matters.
Mm-hmm.
All,
we're
all,
leaving
all
out
that stuff
coaching
matters.
though.
bro, the
We're
Commanders
leaving
were
out
the
coaching
worst
there,
team in
Jared.
football. They lost their owner. They changed their name. They already hit everybody. Like, what the fuck? You better go get your
Well, they
guy.
transformed. Well, the Jet fans don't have the latitude to fire the owner. Just like you guys don't have the latitude to fire yours.
Now we got
So
father
that's
time.
where,
You know what I mean? Something to say about that,
yeah,
but hey,
that's I know we're
Oh, they
wishing on a prayer on that one.
they can get him out of there. Y'all just won't do it. But it's gonna take y'all can get him out of there.
if all y'all just don't go to a fucking game, he's out there. If y'all could just do it for like,
It's not going to
oh,
happen.
well, he's gonna be there.
Can I say something about what Mark said?
Yeah, and
Um,
then Hexican's been waiting, so there's about to be
okay,
another firestorm in a minute.
Mark, I totally agree with you, Mark. I think a lot of these guys in here are doing the what is it? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst situation. Because if you do trade up with Cam Ward and lose that draft stock, I can hear you can almost hear it right now on ESPN 3 years from now. The Aaron Glenn experiment has failed. He is now fired from the New York Jets. I totally agree with you.
I get
It'll
it. If
be
you're
and New
not,
York is brutal, man. They have to build. They have no choice but to
I hear
build
what you
it
guys are
the
saying, but
right
if you're not
way
aggressive like
if he
that,
wants to keep
you'll
his job.
never be a top end team, bro. The Lions are fucking aggressive. That's why they're so good. It's either you're trying to win or you're not, bro. It is what it is. I'd rather a team fail trying. Just like, oh well, I'm just gonna take it slow. Okay, motherfucker.
Well, you're getting off a team that just shot the moon to try to get a Hall of Fame quarterback in the late
I mean,
stage of
but
their
it's
career to
not your
try to go
fault that he
all
got hurt
in
his first year,
and watch
though.
it collapse horribly. And now I understand that, but that look, they lost the first year of Aaron Rodgers with injury, and then you have year two, and the whole team was underwhelming, including like Rodgers gave you glimpses, but he was underwhelming. But they had more problems than just him, and it just didn't work out. And
I
so
mean, I hear you.
now they're here. So they need a quarterback. That's the problem. They need a quarterback, and I don't think if they roll out week one with Tyrod, and if they Jim, I'm standing by it. If they shoot up the board for Cam Ward, I see a problem looming for the team, and it's a bummer because I think Cam Ward has
But
talent. I haven't
Mark,
watched a ton of him,
but
but he
but
has
Mark,
talent, and I love that.
Mark, but what if Glenn identifies Cam Ward as his guy, and that's how they want to start? Because technically, according to some, I'm not. This is not a dig at anybody. According to some fans, it's like Hector thinks it's a complete rebuild. So does Buckeye. June does. Then if they do get it, what's the big deal? If
Well,
it's going
then
to
you,
be it's a throwaway year anyway. So it's year
well,
one.
but if you get Cam Ward, one, you're expending all that draft capital to go get him.
Yes.
But now it's like, okay, now you're tying a head coach and a GM to their quarterback and a number one, let's say, overall quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? So the fans are going to tie those guys together. The media is going to tie those guys together. And we keep acting like, the Jets playing like a small market. They don't. Like the patience, this honeymoon period we're in now is going to be out of here by
Yeah.
like week 7,
You're
week
you're
8.
you're probably not gonna have consecutive back to back day one and day two picks for like 2 years. You're not gonna have that because even moving from like 1 to 2, I mean the team has a 2 to 3 year position. Like now they own you for 2 to 3 years in terms of
Mhm.
draft capital. So you get Cam Ward, you have to have. I mean your financial situation has got to be on point. Otherwise, the tiniest bit of screw up literally ruins your organization because now you can't get Cam Ward the necessary help that he needs to be successful.
And you're going to have Jet fans, Jarek. And look, I listen to this fan base all the time. You're gonna have Jet fans be like, why isn't this guy like Jaden Daniels worked and early? CJ Stroud worked and early. Why isn't Cam Ward working early? Like your expectations go through the roof. And if folks think I'm crazy for saying that, okay, like that's kind of where the conversation is. Because Jet fans are highly critical of I don't know a more critical environment for a young quarterback to enter. That's why I have grave concern if the Jets get, a highly touted, like a big potential, but splashing for a quarterback like that. I think it's a recipe
But
for
Mark, that
disaster.
means you don't trust Aaron Glenn, and you said you like the hire. So where are you at?
I do like the hire, Pete, but when you've got a first year OC with Engstrand working with it's just dicey. All right. I just don't like the percentages of it. I would rather Engstrand be in year 2 and it's like, all right, now, the guy, because Pete, it's a whole new offense. I understand it's a West Coast system, but a lot of teams are running West Coast systems. It's a whole
Mark,
new
if you have them gone after year 3, you don't have faith in them at all. That means they
I think
failed for 3 years.
Yeah.
Best of
Well, I
both
think
worlds. Just lose. Don't give up no draft, no trades. Tank and get yourself a quarterback next year.
But this is the problem. And again, I gotta agree with Mark on this. The Jets are not. You're not in the position to help the quarterback. Even if you trade up to get to the first round, again, you're not gonna have any day 1 or day 2 pick for the next 2 to 3 years. That's gone now. So
that's why you don't do that, Jared. Yo, I'm gonna have to step in. Yo, I can't. This is all I can stand. All right, so let me ask you guys this. Can you guys just listen to these stats real quick? First of all, the average salary for an NFL QB right now is $51 million. Take a look at these the highest quarterbacks. Dak 61, Joe 61, Jordan 58, Trevor 56, Jared 55, Tua 54, Justin 53. Okay. Now hear these stats. Now hear these wide receivers. Robbie Anderson, Deontay Burnett, J.J. Jones, Jermaine Kearse, Sharon Peak, and Andrew Roberts. Okay, and then
Andre Roberts.
put his coaches, Adam Gase and my man that's doing a okay job in Tampa.
Okay, I
let
think
me
he's done a great job in
right.
Tampa.
So my question to you is, why can't we just go out of the ordinary and bring back a guy that struggled with the organization because he had no weapons around him. He had to learn three different offenses in a span of 3 years, and he had no offensive weapons whatsoever except Robbie Anderson, which I liked. And now after 3 or 4 years in the league, has finally turned it around where he became a Pro Bowler.
So Sam Darnold,
And he's only gonna be asking for not the average, which is 51 million, but 40 million. So
Hey,
why not pay Darnold?
X,
Why not pay Darnold 40 million
X,
for 3 or 4 years?
X.
Keep all
Wait,
our draft
wait a
capital
minute.
that we
What?
have.
Hex,
We have a wide receiver. We have a running back.
June, give him another minute and then
We
rip
have
him.
offensive linemen. We have a coaching staff
I
now
love this
that can
plan.
finally put it through. Why not give Donald a chance? Instead of hoping that we hit on the fucking draft, hoping that we move up and now we exert all our draft capital for Ward, for maybe Ward, works out. I'm tired of the almost working out. What happened to the fucking guys that have left and have become Pro Bowlers or all pro stars in this fucking league when the Jets went, because they were with the Jets and they were horrible with the Jets for whatever reason. No support, no coaching, bad team, whatever the hell it was the past 25 years that it's been with the freaking New York Jets. Why not bring back a guy that has proven that he can do it? He has proven that he can do it in the league.
So
with you.
Sam
Wait,
Darnold proved after. Okay, now Mark. That's
wait,
Mark's new quarterback. Go
wait,
ahead,
He
Joe.
hold on.
proved it in one
Wait,
year. He has
wait,
proven that if he has
So
support,
wait,
he has a wide receiver, he has a
Hex,
coaching staff, he has an offensive
yep.
line that he can produce numbers at least equal to
So
the
The Jets
lowest
have. All right, hold on,
the
Hex.
lowest tier
hold on, Hexagon.
QB that is
June,
in the
what? Just
playoffs.
10 seconds, June. Hexagon. So the Jets have a coach that's equivalent to Kevin O'Connell on the offensive side. I got
First
it.
of all, Kevin
Cool.
O'Connell was the one that screwed the Minnesota Vikings in that playoff. It wasn't Darnold, by the way. The play calling in that game was atrocious. When all they had, man, look, I don't even want to get into that. So first of all, spare me with my man and
But June,
his all pro coaching shit. Whatever, he blew
Hex,
that game for many. It wasn't Darnold. So
Hex, are you ready yet?
Man, that is the worst
Hex,
offseason
yeah,
plan
yeah.
I ever
Hey,
heard.
hey, show, hold on. Hey, Hex, first thing first. 51 million is not what the average pay for the quarterback is in
yes,
the
it is.
NFL.
Yes,
It's
it is.
not.
Look it up.
You're looking at the top five, top
No, no, no.
six
I'm looking at
salary
the
guys.
average expense of an NFL QB in the in the
It's
National Football League. The average is 51 million.
Hex. How many quarterbacks are making 50 million plus in this league? It's 30. It's 32 teams.
Yeah, bro, that math ain't mathing, my
That
brother.
math is not
That
mathing,
shit
bro. So
I'm
crazy.
saying
that
that
shit is completely wrong.
the average, when it's all said and done, you
The
take all the
average is
QBs, you
not
take all the
51
QBs in
million.
the league, all the starting QBs in the league, and you put the average, you put
Hey,
all their
show, can you
salaries
please
together.
help him, show?
You can look it up. I mean,
Bro,
June,
no,
I
no,
mean,
Bro,
I looked it up.
first of all, you're
Hex.
talking about the 1% in the
You're
NFL,
talking
bro.
about right,
Like, what about the
bro.
rest of the team? And
It's
then
32
you have to
teams.
consider the
Bro, you
second
guys
string
want Justin
quarterbacks
Fields. Who's
and
better?
third string
Who's better,
quarterbacks. That's
Darnold
not
or
that's
Justin
not the
Fields? Who's
argument.
better right now,
We're talking
Darnold
about
or
math
Justin
right
Fields? You
now.
guys want Justin Fields.
We're talking
Who's
about
better?
math.
But
Can we be
Hex,
rational?
yeah, he's not
Wait a minute.
rational.
Hex, eight quarterbacks are making 50 million. Eight out of
Right,
32 starting quarterbacks are making 50 million.
right. That
Everyone else
means
is
it's
making
not
below that.
51. Right, bro. So you're wrong on that one. That's the start. Number two,
All
Darnold would
right, so
never come back to New York.
what website I looked it up at, then they're wrong because I looked it up. I'm not just throwing numbers out there. I looked it up. If I went to the wrong site, then I
That
The,
apologize.
website is
My point
that
is this:
website
if
needs
the
to be
guy
taken
made the
down.
Pro Bowl last year,
dude,
it looks like he fucking
You know, Mac
he
Jones made
did
the
he
Pro Bowl,
had a
wait,
right?
good year last year,
wait.
and the
Mac Jones
average
made the Pro
and
Bowl
he's
too.
all he's asking
You
for is
don't want to do
40.
this QB talk, man. You
Mac
it's
Jones made the Pro
Yeah,
Bowl too, Hex.
Ty Huntley made the Pro Bowl.
Right. So like that doesn't mean anything, Hex. That's another false thing. Number three. I'm sorry. Donald would never come back to the Jets, and the Jets would never have
Why?
him back.
Why? Why?
What
Why?
do you
You his
mean?
cousin?
Did
You
you
his
see the
cousin?
way
You
it
talk to
ended?
him over Sunday dinners. You know
He
what's
can't
going on
handle
in
New
his
Did,
York, bro. He
did
can't
you
handle it,
see the way that thing ended, bro?
and he
He
can't
wouldn't
handle
do
it here.
that. And I don't even blame him. He can't do that. There's no
Bro,
way he would do that.
it was not. Did you hear me? He had Adam Gates for a fucking year. Are you kidding me? He had Adam Gates for a
Some
year,
people
and he
can
had
handle New
Todd
York,
Bowles.
and
He had
some
two
people
QBs.
can't.
He
That's
had
a
a head
fact.
coach, Todd Bowles, that specializes in defense, and then he
bro.
had
Take a
the
breath, my
supposedly
brother. It's too early.
the greatest
That's what he
offensive
does, show.
genius
That's
in the
what he
He
last
that's
20
can't.
years,
Hex.
He
Adam
can't
Gates, and he
handle New
fucking won.
York.
Like, are you kidding me with this shit? Why is it
Yo,
that we never give these kids a chance? But the kid got basically tossed into the fucking fire, and
didn't
then
they
they
win
kicked him
7
out,
games
and now
without
he's
him, Gates,
thriving.
the
He's
Now
on
first
he's
his
year?
thriving in the
fourth
league.
team.
I'm tired of niggas. I'm tired of people leaving the fucking New York Jets and then thriving
He
in other
he's on
teams.
his
Why can't
fourth
we bring
team, and 8
somebody back
years
that knows
later,
what they're doing?
that's a
he's on his
fact.
fourth team for a reason. 8 years later,
And
wow, the light went on for a
the
Bro,
light
year.
went on.
and Geno Smith too, and all. So they're
Yeah,
Pro
No,
8 years
Bowlers,
later,
my
four
Gino
boy.
has
te-
done
They're
it.
Pro
four
Bowlers.
teams,
They're
and
Pro
8 years
All right,
later.
Bowlers.
all
Yep,
right. So
yep.
John, when I looked at it, right, if you average out the 32
8 years
teams,
later, how
the
many years
average
has it been
salary
since the
is
Jets made the
34 mil.
playoffs?
Exactly.
Long time.
Okay,
Exactly.
all right.
Okay.
Exactly. I know it's
June,
30 something.
Like
June,
you gotta
try to
remember,
get to
like
Terrence because he's at work.
What's his name? Brock Purdy's making $1 million. Like, okay, and he's a top end quarterback. Just to put that in perspective for you. Okay, so I'm gonna
Bro,
leave
how
it at
much
that.
is he gonna make? How much is he gonna make?
But
Stop talking about he could
your
draft
thing
it. He could
was
draft
what
it.
He
Right.
he
everybody's
They
ain't
got
making
him
making
on
right
a
50
now.
rookie
You're
million.
talking
contract.
about
What is he
futures
gonna
He's
though.
make?
not making
My
50
point is,
million. I can
what is he gonna make?
I can
They
make
struggling
100
with him, by
mil.
the way.
Don't
They
mean
struggling
I
with him.
signed a contract yet. That
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
mean
not.
anything.
Yeah.
We're talking about what
just
people are making
Bro,
right
just
is he
now.
gonna make over 50 million a year or not?
No.
Is Purdy gonna make 50 million a
No.
year or
Hey,
not?
Terrence, what's up, man?
No.
Good
If
morning,
Purdy
Terrence.
makes
Gonna,
50 million
woulda, coulda,
dollars,
shoulda.
done.
He ain't making that right now. He's making $1
dude,
million
man.
Is
dollars a year,
Purdy
my
gonna
brother.
make
Dude.
over 50 million a year? Is
He,
Purdy gonna make
he,
over 50 million in his next
hopefully,
contract?
Yeah, with the 49ers,
hopefully.
yes. Yes. I
That's
think he's gonna
hope.
make 50
That we're
million.
talking about. Can we talk
Terrence, go
about the
ahead.
reality
Okay,
Wait,
next year?
wait.
What
so
he's
then it's
doing?
gonna be
Man.
another.
Good morning, Terrence.
Good morning, Terrence. What's up, brother?
Yo, man, somebody's got to try decaf for a fucking day or something, you know?
I'm trying to tell you,
Yeah,
man. I'm
like,
trying to tell you.
like, look, a couple of things that I've been
But
listening
actually,
to.
if you need to wake up, I'll squeeze some of my fucking sweat and put it in your fucking coffee. All right,
Yeah,
that's
but
how it works.
Pause
I
on
don't
that.
drink
That's crazy.
coffee, man. You're taking more than coffee. I know that much shit, man. But
All right,
look, yeah,
let's keep it
yeah.
clean
So
here.
look,
Go ahead.
no, whatever, man. I got this guy rambling, and then he moves the goalposts when he says, "Oh yeah, well, what they're gonna make," like whatever freaking site it is, you bring it with you next time. Don't tell us to look it up. All right. So number one,
Yo, but
regarding
hey,
the
let's
regime,
backtrack a
you
bit.
had your time.
What
You
exactly were
had
you
your
talking about when
time.
you said that I
You
do
had
more
your
than just
Hexican,
fucking
time.
coffee? What does that
Hexican.
You
mean?
had
Hex,
What
let
does
him
that
your
talk.
mean?
Hex,
But
time.
now,
Hex, let him talk.
now
You
there's person.
Let him go.
I thought
Let
there
him
was no
go.
personal threats in the space.
He's
Now
got
this
it.
guy's trying to
No,
say
no.
that what is it that I do, nigga? What is it that I
All
do?
right,
That's
well,
stop, stop,
Hex.
stop, stop,
you need.
stop. Please.
Go ahead,
He's not.
Terrence.
I got it. Enough.
Go ahead,
If you
Terrence.
guys come off mute, don't go back at each other, please. This is not high school.
Go ahead, T. Terrence.
Yeah, I just got the delayed mute, so we're fine.
All right, go
Okay,
ahead, brother.
so first, somebody was talking about the wide receiver room. Hopefully, we draft somebody, maybe Tet McMillan. Hopefully,
Yes.
Corley gets out of the doghouse. And also, I would be going after somebody like Tim Patrick in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So as a fourth wide receiver, maybe. So
Yes.
hopefully you build your room a little bit. I don't like that guy being our punt returner. Hopefully we get somebody. But that was the first thing. Number two, I don't know. I don't agree with what Mark was saying, but I do agree overall. But what I do agree with Mark is I'm not 100% sure I want to invest all this draft capital with somebody 2 months after this new regime came in. But I don't think the Titans are going to trade down to 7. If they trade, number one, it should raise flags if they don't take this guy at number one. They need a quarterback. But if let's say Berganzi basically is like, look, I'm on a different timeline than the Callahans in terms of the coaches that are currently there. I can wait a year and then pick a better crop of quarterback that's coming out in 2026. But if he moves down, I think he's just going to move down to maybe number 3 and let the Giants move up because he wants either Abdul Carter or he wants Hunter. I don't think he wants to go all the way down to 7. But to me, it's a big haul, and I agree with Mark. You're tying this regime by the neck to all that draft capital for this guy, and he better work out. But I'll say this, and I've been saying it for a while. At some point next year, regardless of what our record is, you're going to have to use draft capital to get the quarterback that you want. The anomalies, Brock Purdy, Hurts, yes, they hit, but guess what? Those two teams, before they drafted those guys, they drafted people in the top 5 that didn't work out. And they got these guys in an emergency situation, which we did not do because we were worried about Zach Wilson's fragile ego at the time. So it's not just, a crapshoot and hitting the lottery. A lot of these teams, again, the way to get your quarterback, the best way is to get your guy in the draft, in the top 5, in the top 10. And this is not a great free agency with players. So yeah, you hope Glenn instills some discipline and maybe we win a couple of games. But whatever draft capital they're trying to get for Cam Ward now, you're going to have to expend as much or maybe a little bit less if you're at 15 next year and you're trying to move up to get one of those guys that everybody is predicting is going to be in the draft, whether it's Arch Manning, the guy at LSU, and all Nussbaum, and and all the other guys that are supposed to be coming out that everybody is high on. So again, at some point they will have to expend draft capital, or as somebody's been saying, then the team plays, the team goes 4 or 5 wins, it's in the top 10 already, and you pick the guy there, or you move up a little bit just to get the guy that you want. Again, at some point, the draft capital is going to have to be used, or somebody that's on this team right now that is a valuable piece for somebody is going to be gone, and you're going to be getting draft picks from that player. And the only other thing I do agree a little, like not so much with Hexagon about Darnold. I don't think the guy will ever want to come back here. But again, like Geno Smith, he was on the Giants for a year. He never showed anything. It took like 8 years. You can't keep a quarterback that long, But I do agree, But Darnold's going to pick his spot. I don't know if he's going to get 50 million, to be honest with you, because it wasn't just that playoff game. It was that game against the Lions where he got rushed, he got rattled, he started throwing high. So the place that he goes, if they don't have a good offensive line, you're going to see the Darnold that we've seen with the Jets and the Darnold that you saw with Carolina. But yeah, I hope he does do well because I think he's a good kid, and I do want him to make some money. And that's really where I am. But Darnold is not going to come back to the Jets. And I don't want to pay 50 million for him. We'll see what happens. A lot of this stuff we're arguing about is all going to come.
How much would you pay for him? How much is Darnold worth?
I pay what they pay Baker Mayfield. Yeah.
How much is Darnold worth right now? 30 million, 35, 40?
Yeah, 33, 35. Yes. That's what I would do. If somebody pays
all right,
higher,
so if we give him so if you give him 120 for 3 years, that's not a good deal?
No.
For a guy that's been in the league and is a coming off a Pro Bowl season and why wouldn't that be a good deal for Darnold?
Yeah, well, somebody else will offer them that too. And then why would he go back to us when he can do that somewhere else?
Because it's not the same team.
Yeah, but why would he?
It's the same media. It's the same market.
Here. Yeah. I mean, I understand like righting a wrong, like in your mind, it's righting a wrong, like he didn't get the fair shake, but let's not forget, he played like shit that third year. He may have had after the mono in year 2, he did win. He did nothing in year 3.
Did you hear the list of wide receivers that this gentleman had during his tenure with the New York Jets?
Right.
You never heard of them. I never heard of none of them.
Who's the list of wide receivers?
Roberts.
Who's the list of wide receivers Josh Allen has right now?
Didn't he have DJ Moore?
Who? Carolina, he did.
Yeah, DJ Moore's terrific.
Yes, he is.
Hexkin, I love you. You're funny as hell.
Anyway,
why can't we create our own reclamation project, though?
You're a good guy. Just but yeah, and maybe you're right about certain things. But to me, Darnold's not coming back. That's over with. And I think he was. Give O'Connell credit. He got the most out of him. I don't think if McCarthy didn't have that knee meniscus tear, McCarthy at some point probably would have come in midway through the season some point.
Tara, why can't we create our own reclamation? Why do we
with whom?
Well, again, it's Justin Fields, in my opinion, at least the swing and try, right? But taking Sam Darnold and making believe he's amazing or Geno Smith is amazing, like if you're going to do a reclamation project, do it on your own. Don't take someone else's fool's gold, because I think Sam is fool's gold. He folded like a deck of cards when.
Hey, Buckeye, you know what, Sam Darnold is a high tier backup quarterback in the NFL.
100%. He's not Baker.
Well, yeah, I agree with the Fields and the fact that he's young. and that you can hope for a Darnold type season, like if you get lucky. But the thing to me is, can he read the field? Can he process? Or and is he going to, is it going to be a RPO? And is that what Hegstrom wants to employ? But I agree with you that that's the guy that you can get cheap, maybe 15 million, and at least again with excuse me, with Tyrod Taylor backing up, basically kind of like, he's older, but you could probably run the similar offense if one of them gets hurt one week and you wouldn't have to change everything. Yeah, that would make sense. But again, to me, it's just a bridge quarterback and you're looking for somebody in 2026.
Terrence, don't you feel Tomlin needs a playoff win? Like he is probably one more season of.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, between Wilson, I don't know how they improve with Wilson or Fields. I hear they're negotiating with both of them right now. They don't know which one they want, but they're probably going to wind up going with unlimited, because I guess they feel like they know what they got in him. I mean, they also Pickens, I don't know if he's going to be on the team, so I don't know what wide receivers they're going to have, because like he's somebody
So
that's
sorry, I got a call.
Okay, no problem. But anyway, that's.
I was just saying, if Tomlin, who needs a playoff win, is considering Fields, to me, we should consider the guy. If Tomlin, again, I think if he wins no playoff games, he's out of a job. So if he's considering Fields, how can we not?
Yeah, but he's still under contract with them until the league starts. So if they make a deal with him before he tests the market, then it's a moot point. But
totally,
if Fields goes out on his own, then that's an indication that the Steel, basically Tomlin's like, nah, I'm going to, either it's Wilson or they're looking for somebody, maybe even Darnold, to Hexican's point. Maybe they think that there's more upside with Darnold, after the year that he just had. And, I mean, I don't know if Arthur Smith will get the most out of Darnold the way that O'Connell did, but, maybe they're willing to try that. But I agree with you that, Tomlin's been one and done for a while. And I think the thing that's been holding them back is ever since Roethlisberger left, they really don't have anybody at quarterback. And they've tried, small hands, Kenny Pickett didn't work out.
I'm just saying, if that guy is going to consider Fields to keep his job and win a playoff game, I think the Jets should at least kick the tires on that guy.
What, Fields? Yeah, if he's available. Well, everybody thinks that that's the answer because, again, he's young. He may only be about 15 million.
Young and cheap, Terrence. Good point.
Yeah, that's all. And also because he's young, you figure one of these years, maybe he breaks out. Maybe he has the Darnold type season that, that he had last year, where Hexican is touting him, but we don't know. But to me, again, it's just a bridge quarterback. And we're trying to get our guy in 2026 because if it was a good quarterback draft this year, we would be talking about who we taking at 7 or who are we moving up to 5 to get, because that's not an option right now. And again, a lot of people think Cam Ward, had he come out last year, and I've been watching Cam Ward when he was at Washington State. He was thinking about declaring. I would have loved to have taken him in the 4th round at the time when he was at Washington State, but he improved his stock and he came out in a year where there weren't a lot of quarterbacks. So he moves right up to number 1. Yeah. No, you don't. There's nothing I haven't. Okay, I got to go, guys.
What's up, Ground?
Yeah, good morning.
That was funny. He's like, you don't need my help. You know what, man? Like, I think I'd rather have Derek Carr than Fields.
Oh no.
But no, you wouldn't.
But what's the sustainable foundation of Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers? Like, why don't we start building something repeatable?
Well, I think Derek Carr has got a good 4 or 5 years left in his career. How old is he? Like 31? 30? Let me see. Let's see here.
How old is he?
33.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
How old is how old
it,
is how
it
old is
make
Stafford?
it makes Bucks answer even better, doesn't it? We should definitely go with Justin Field.
Yeah, but who's to say? Do we already know that Justin Fields only is gonna be okay with only a 1 year contract, or does he have other options for
No,
multi-year deals out
I
there?
think you're gonna
He
have to give
doesn't
him.
have options.
I think they're gonna have to give him at least a
2
2 year.
years. It's going to be a 2 year deal, and maybe something that you can get out of after 1 year.
Yeah,
So
there'll be a
what?
2
2 years?
year,
What? 2 years? What?
2 years in
30 million?
it. Yeah,
2 years,
but
30 million. That's exactly what I was thinking.
maybe the base might be low, and he'll have a playing time incentive.
He'll
So
have a bunch of incentives, of
right,
course.
so it could be upwards. They could say it's a like Tyron Smith's deal was what, a 1 year up to $20 million, and
Yep.
they fucking played him when they probably shouldn't have played him, and they should have put Olu in, and they costed themselves money.
You want the sweet spot of where, like, because DJ Reed's going to get big money, and you could potentially get a third round compensatory pick. So you want to sign a guy in that sweet spot where it's not going to disrupt that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
because if you sign Fields for too much money, it kind of interrupt. It could possibly interrupt. That third round compensatory pick,
I
which
feel like if
is
we do the Cousins Carr thing, we're doing exactly what the Colts did with the Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan,
Mm.
Wentz. Like, why? Like, that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And then you're
yeah.
sitting there year after year talking about quarterbacks. Like, when does the quarterback conversation just stop?
I think those guys, Buckeye, though, they were at the way in. They were 38 years old, 39 years old
Wentz wasn't.
players. Yeah, but Wentz, you really can't compare Wentz to Derek Carr. Derek Carr is like a
Well,
much higher
Wentz
character.
was really good for a couple of years,
No, no,
man.
no, 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 no. I'm not saying like skill wise. He was very good. And he actually had a very good year with the Colts, right?
Yes, he did.
Then he had like 22 touchdowns and like just a few, but it was just that last game that did him in.
Yep.
That last game against the Jaguars is just like
That knocked him out the
crazy.
playoffs. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I'd rather take a low risk. I'll take Winston here. Pete, you want to have fun? Like at your going to the games, Winston will throw 2 touchdowns, 2 picks.
I would take Jameis. Dude, it would be fun. It would actually be fun to watch.
Why does this always come back to me?
You want to compete. You said
Because
I
you
want to
want to
Because
compete.
compete.
that
That's
you want to
Pete wants
want
to
to be
compete.
competitive. Now we
Compete.
tried to warn you this, Petey, but you didn't want to listen. 7 months, Petey.
I'm just saying Derek Carr solves nothing, man. It solves nothing.
Jarek, actually, I do listen. I just
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You got to bend the. You got to.
New Orleans and the Raiders are close to what we are, right? And both of them have moved on from Carr, or both. Like, I think they're going to move on. Why should we follow? Like, that's who the Jets are. We're the Saints. We're the Raiders. Like,
Well, I think we have a much better roster than those teams right now.
well, in
I don't know about that.
well, I'm just saying, dude, we
Oh,
get lost
June.
in the sauce of rosters. It's win, right? Like, it is a win or lose league, and we're the same. We're like, one's the 6 pick, one's the
Well,
7 pick, one's the 5 pick. Like,
when you make the argument like that, you are correct. But you are also one of the people who were saying that we had bottom tier coaching.
we
For
did.
okay. So I mean, if we had bottom tier coaching, Derek Carr is a very good player.
But Ground, does Quinnen Williams seem bought in? Does he seem like he's going to be electric for us, or is he already complaining about, oh great, another rebuild? So what? Like,
He's
we're looking at the names on the back of the jersey
Hmm.
versus
The logo.
and
that's
why
it.
is he and why is Quinnen checked out? Can you remind me?
because we're not winning.
Yeah, but
Because
Petey, he got paid,
because
and I got to be
because
honest.
Thank you.
because
Yeah, these guys are like, we're not responsible for the winning. The players are. So like, Quinnen's got to be better. Sauce got to
Hmm.
be better.
Hmm.
Garrett's got to be better.
Hmm.
Jermaine Johnson's got to be healthy. Like these guys, like, dude, they're controlling the wins. It's not like, yes, the coaching sucked.
He's checked out because they moved on from Aaron Rodgers. That's why he's checked out.
But who cares?
Aaron Rodgers was there for 2 years.
What are you doing? You're tweeting something, you don't stand behind it, and then you fucking delete your account. Like, what are you, like a high school fucking baby bitch? What the hell are you doing here, man?
Especially with the production that he had last year. He should have been the last person to sit there and say anything.
But to be fair, he's the captain too. He's one of the captains. He's got to be better.
Because there's nobody else.
He's only
because there's nobody else.
He's only a captain by that letter that's on his jersey. He's not really captain, bro.
I'm saying he's got to be better.
My point. Yeah.
Right. Like I think Jermaine Johnson should be a captain
He
now.
is.
I do.
Yeah, but I saw what he posted. It was all babble.
Who, Jermaine?
Yeah, what he didn't write anything like.
How is it babble?
Amazing.
He's telling people to buy in. How is that babble?
Yeah, he's saying have blind faith. He's saying, he's basically saying we haven't earned your trust, but I want you to trust us anyway. He didn't say anything of substance. He said a bunch of friggin' fluff.
I kind of agree.
Okay, he didn't say, hey, you know what? We're doing. There's a lot of work that we're doing right now that you're not seeing, and I understand we've been terrible, and but I can guarantee you're going to get a maximum effort team this year, and we're going to win.
Pete, it would have been better if Jermaine sent a message.
There's your next leader on defense, right there. If he stays healthy, there's your guy that shows it. Just by that.
Yeah, but I'd rather these players, instead of asking fans to be more patient, like go clap back to Becton. Go clap back that, bro, you just won the Super Bowl. Like, leave us, like, stop the bullshit of like fans give us more time, be nice to us. Get the fuck out of here with this shit, man.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't. No one should fucking say anything to the fucking fans, honestly. But that might have been a little fucking zing to, a few of his teammates that fucking come out like childish shit, like fucking Quinnen, saying, great, another rebuild. But that's a guy that will lead. But he's a young guy. He missed last year. But if you had to pick a guy that could be a leader, there's one.
I said it 2 months ago. 2 months ago, he's the leader. He's the real leader in the team.
Because like there really isn't. Like Quincy's not, Quinnen's not, CJ Mosley, kind of was, but he can't be it going forward if he's here or
not for nothing, Jim. Real quick, I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets need bodies. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to keep Mosley on the team because
he might be there just as a veteran guy.
Yeah, they can't get. I mean, if they get rid of him, they're eating money regardless. Now,
he might
first him. I don't even know how much they save. It's probably not even a lot.
And you know what? I'm not going to be mad if he's there because he's a veteran guy that there's certain things he can do and certain things he can't, and hopefully this coaching staff knows the shit that he can't and doesn't have him do it. But I'm not going to hate if he's there. You can't get rid of everybody if he's a guy that can run your system, and he's not a leader. He's not. He's a well-respected guy in the locker room, but he hasn't been a leader type. There's no voice on this defense that. I mean, no one's come out as the voice. Jim.
It's going to be Aaron Glenn. It's going to be Glenn. He's going to be.
Yeah, but you need a guy on the field.
No, I know that. Yeah. I know that. I'm just saying, Aaron Glenn's going to preach all this, old school Jet shit.
But you need a guy. You need a guy on the field in the locker room that people will listen to. And not for nothing, if Quincy said shit or Quinnen said shit, I'm not listening to him. Like the only guys that played up to their salary, I mean Quincy in a way, but he's not a vocal guy. Is
Quincy outperformed his contract for sure.
Yes, but I'm saying he's not. Him and Sherwood, I think the only two that really lived up to showing up and playing. But yeah, if Jermaine stays healthy, that's going to be your guy. That's going to be your voice.
June, are you sitting here trying to say that 2 months ago you said Jermaine was the leader of the team, of the defense? Because I don't remember you saying any kind of shit like that. What I do remember you saying is this team has no leaders, and to fucking and fucking get rid of everybody.
Ground.
I remember June
Buckeye,
saying 2-15, and he's good with that, right,
Buckeye,
June?
Buckeye, Curtis, and Petey. The only player who I kept saying, the only player who I left out in all trade negotiations was Jermaine Johnson. I said this team has no leaders, and the only player that on this team that I think would be a leader is Jermaine Johnson.
June, what about that 2-15 take? Remember that?
Once again, I don't care if it's 1-16, 2-15, or
It's
three
all
and
sunshine and
14.
rainbows as we're competing, though, right?
As long as these guys are playing disciplined ball, not pointing no fingers and taking accountability, and everything's trending in the right way, I'll go with that. I'll go
All
with
right.
it. Like I said, wins don't matter to me. I just need to see this team, headed in the right direction.
The other issue is if you lean in on Jermaine's being the captain of this team, when's he up for payment? After this season?
Well, he got a 5th-year
He,
option that they could
he,
take.
he has an extent. Well, he could be extended now if he wants to. He's a first round.
I just don't want to be in a position where I'm making someone captain. We don't even know if he's the long-term plan in terms of the like this team needs to draft with heart in mind, man.
Yeah.
It's not just the combine, man.
Yeah.
Like this team
Yeah,
needs
they
to.
got to make that decision, Buckeye. You're right about Jermaine. Is he? Antoine has said he doesn't think they're going to extend him for the
Right.
5th-year option.
So then don't lean in and make that a captain. And again, he has captain tendencies. I get it. But if that's not part of your long-term plan, then that can't be the captain.
But if they do extend him, for the 5th-year option, do you name him a captain? That's the because there's usually a captain on
Up to
offense,
Aaron Glenn.
defense. Yeah,
that's up to Glenn. But I think from the draft perspective, we spend so much time on like 40 yards, all this combine shit. Like, start drafting dudes with hearts. Start drafting leaders, because that's where I think this has gone polarizingly bad. We have a leaderless locker room. Quinnen is not it.
I agree. Guys, I got to close. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. June, as always, thank you. Buckeye,
34th
thanks.
team.
Mark,
34.
Curtis, speakers. I see Kenny down there. What up, Kenny?
Well,
J. Mick.
Petey, I'm
Rain.
proud of you. You agreed with a critical take on Quinnen Williams, man. You're coming around now, man.
He is.
Listen.
He is slowly.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have did that. But I mean, I'm not gonna. If he goes and gets 10 sacks, that shit'll be forgotten.
That won't happen.
Have a good guys. Have a good day. As always, thank you.
What they need,
Shout out
June,
to the listeners.
what they need to do is they need to hypnotize him and make him think he's playing on a contract year.
June, any final thoughts?
Yes, indeed. 3014. Please repeat after me. Jarek, you ready? Ready?
Yes, sir.
Buck, you ready? Curtis, you
Burn it
ready?
down.
No doubt.
Let's tear it down.
Tear it down.
Tear it down.